Oh yeah,
There it is.
It took a while.
Yeah. StreamYard might be running a little slow. We're ticking now. We're live. Come on in, folks.
It's possible it's running a little. I've been running slow today too, so it's okay.
We're all running slow. It's a Tuesday.
I'll give StreamYard the benefit of the doubt.
Okay.
Allow them to have an off day. You know, they deserve it.
An off day.
They deserve it. Yeah. It's weird. I've been, and all the tech around me is somehow like just not working right. I noticed that I was brought to my attention today that one of our Wi-Fi signals. We have 3 different Wi-Fi signals here in the house, and we're overachievers. And one of them is not working correctly. It's not broadcasting any longer, and you can't find it. And I'm like, and I at first I'm like, did we change the name? And then I noticed that my PS5 would not connect to the internet, and it's because it's looking for that old signal, which has not been broadcasting. So I need to pop into the cable box or the modem here and figure out why that signal's not broadcasting. My poor Alexa can't find it. But we got 3 other ones, so most of the tech in the house decided to switch over to the old one, one of the other ones, because it knew
it found it.
Yeah, it found the old ones, or the the standbys, but not the main, which is fine, because since I did that, I noticed that my computer's been running a lot smoother. So my internet, I haven't had any connection issues, but I'm wired in, so I'm old school over here. Everything else can be on Wi-Fi. Welcome everybody. Hello. We got a great show for you tonight. We are going to be broadcasting live here on Indie VOLT Radio very soon. It's booting up, so we'll have those numbers for you as well. And then some exciting news too. In 2 weeks, we'll be going live on Indie VOLT TV as well. Usually Indie VOLT TV is on demand, and it still will be on demand, but there will be a little square for you to click on that will allow you to see what we're doing live.
We have someone in the chat from who knows where. Elric, we're sorry, we can't read what you're typing there. Looks like Colombia.
What did you say, Lola? You're muted.
Lo siento means I'm sorry.
Vengo a ver.
Están bien. How are you? Hello from somewhere.
Yeah, that's saludos.
Colombia?
It looks like Colombia.
Yeah. Hello. Boy, Elric.
Throw it in the Google Translate, man.
Elric, salute. How you doing? Hail to you. Thanks for listening, buddy.
They don't let me copy.
We love you.
Thanks, Elric.
Thanks so much for listening.
Yes,
Colombia. Awesome.
Creating chaos 24/7 says, good evening, gentlemen. Hail ho.
Hail ho.
Hail ho. How are ya?
Randy, should we run the opening and have everyone introduce themselves?
I can run the opening.
Do you have the right one? You know which one it is?
Yeah, it's the one with the new show opening.
Yeah, there you go.
Here we are. Somebody labeled it. Yep, here we go.
You are a sad, strange little man, and you have my pity. Farewell.
The following program contains violence, disturbing imagery, nudity, and, oh my God, why are you even watching this? Just run away. This shit is going to give you nightmares. For real. The program is rated TV MA NSFW OMFG GAF TTV BYGAS. Why are you still here? Seriously, don't watch this. We can't warn you strongly enough. Do you need a doctor of some kind? What is the matter with you?
The difference is clear. It's a revolt the masses will hear. In the vote, let the people cheer. In the revolt, the good, the bad,
Welcome, everybody. My name is Varian Grant. I'm the founder of Indie Vault Media LLC. Started making comics back in 2008. I've been, and they can't get rid of me. I can't leave comics alone. The game needs me.
Frank and I laugh at you thinking that's a long time.
No, it's not very long at all.
You got to start somewhere, though, right?
Yeah, you know,
Absolutely.
I've been destroying comics since probably like 2004, though.
Love it.
My parents didn't. My father's like, Conan, give it to him. Why not? He can't read it, but look, there's women in there. He'll like that. Yeah, so I'm a father, husband, geek, gamer, comic book artist, comic book publisher, comic book creator, reluctant taxpayer, all that good stuff. And this is Indie Vault. I'm joined as always by the beautiful indie princess Lola. Hello, ma'am. How are you this evening?
I'm better than I was a couple days ago on Sunday Funnies. I'm alive. So I'm doing good. Got new shoes for the shoe cam.
Sponsored by IndieCron. Thank you, Pixel Trader.
Yeah, we see that. Blue, Indie Vault blue.
Yep.
Indie Vault blue.
Very nice, very nice. You're right. You did Backer Shots, your personal show, Backer Shots. You couldn't hold on to liquor. She was doing a drink called liquid cocaine, which, you know, it's not as bad as it sounds.
Yeah,
it's a 1 ounce Jägermeister, 1 ounce
Peppermint schnapps and 1 ounce cinnamon, but we did hot damn.
So you did all that, and it's all mixed together.
Yeah.
I think it's a shot.
Beyond potent.
I did 10 shots and threw up
Wow.
live.
Thanks.
Not on the air, thankfully.
Tens a lot. Tens a lot.
I'll be doing it again Saturday.
It was on the air. She just wasn't.
She was off camera.
Yeah,
thankfully off camera.
but everyone heard it.
Everyone heard it.
Yeah, you can hear her in the back retching. It was great. Great moment. Great moment in indie princess history. Thankfully, it wasn't on Indie Vault as well.
All the more reason to go to live on Indie Vault TV.
No, not with Backer Shots. It'll never be live. It's funny. I remind people the Backer Shots is not an Indie Vault program.
Not an Indie Vault program. Okay.
No, it's not. I'm under the weather myself today. But let's introduce everyone else. Randy, you are.
Kit Falbo says expert level ASMR.
That's right.
Hey, everybody, I'm Randy Zimmerman. I am a longtime alternative and independent comics producer, publisher, freelancer. I've done just about everything in the direct market that you can imagine, retailed for a decade. I've coordinated conventions for a decade, just freelanced in a lot of odd places. And I have self-published for many years under many banners. Right now, I'm working real hard to bring Arrow Comics back out on a regular basis to the retailers. So any retailer out there that's interested in Arrow Comics, please take a look at Liberty Distribution.
Hey, it's Belle from Liberty Energy.
Well, that was the we'll get back to that commercial in a minute. But ledg.us and look for Arrow Comics. We already have some product up there that are available for the retailers, and we will have new product available starting in August, available for the retailers on a regular basis. So please go up there and take a look and enjoy. So deeply appreciate if you did that. Plus, I'm part of the Indie Vault Radio Network. So let me see. What about Zine Comics? Can we try to bring him in? There we go. How you doing, Zine?
Doing well. How about you?
Awesome. You're back on your computer. There we go. We're all good. All right. Also joining us tonight, we are privileged to have Mr. Frank Forte.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Introduce yourself.
Yeah, Frank Forte here. I've been a comic writer and creator since like the early 90s. Worked on Cry for Dawn, Boneyard Press, Anubis Press, all those black and white indies in the 90s. Worked for Heavy Metal Magazine, still over there as an editor. I've worked there since like 2008. Had stuff published in, Heavy Metal since 2008. And I'm the publisher at Asylum Press, which is an indie publishing house. Publishes Warlash. We do Vampire Verses. That was originally Visual Anarchy, but now it's under Asylum Press. That's an original printing of Vampire Verses.
There we go.
We did Satan's Powder Room, the Fearless Dawn books, but also worked on Bob's Burgers, the TV show as a storyboard artist, and the comic book. So my work is in like all the trades pretty much. And, work in Hollywood as a storyboard guy. So I've worked on Bob's Burgers, Solar Opposites, Lovecraft Country, the new Conjuring movie, a bunch of the Blumhouse movies like Fantasy Island, Insidious, The Last Key. I worked at DreamWorks. So, I pretty much have worked as a storyboard guy since 2002. But in the 90s, I was like the indie, horror, black and white comics guy. So with COVID, got back to comics because work dried up. So I'm here like promoting Kickstarters and showing off my new stuff, I guess.
We'll take a look at that Kickstarter here in a little bit. We are also joined by whom from Zine Comics. Introduce yourself.
Hi, my name's Ezekiel Buchanan. I just want to say I'm a newbie in comics. I'll be honest. I don't have any credentials to work with, but I'll tell you, I've got a lot of heart and a lot of passion to make comics. I've always wanted to tell a good story.
There we go.
It's cool. I gotta tell you, Ezekiel, I should tell you this. In my comics, and anything I write, anybody with the last name of Buchanan is very rich and very evil. It's been this way across. Lola can tell you anything I wrote. If there's a bad guy and he's rich, his name is Buchanan, and my little head canon, two of my own universes I've created, some of which are not connected. These characters somehow related, even though their universes are apart. And I'll tell you where I stole that from. My aunt, who would watch, my aunt lived with us when I was a kid, and she would obviously watch me when my parents were going to work, and she loved her soap operas. One in particular was All My Children, and it was another one. It was two, but there was a family on there called the Buchanans, and they were rich, and most of them were evil. So that just imprinted on me that Buchanans are not to be trusted. They're rich and evil. I love it. So I'm glad to finally meet one.
Well, if I remember correctly, I think there's a Spider-Man villain and an Iron Man villain named Ezekiel. So I'm doing twice the evil here.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Glad to have you here with us.
Yeah,
we'll be being joined by JD Calderon very soon as well. Eric Hodson's going to drop in and let us know how his convention weekend went. Randy.
Where did he go to a show at?
He was out in Florida again. He loves Florida.
He drives back and forth, huh?
Yeah, he might as well get a timeshare out there. I don't know what's problem.
Might as well.
Yeah, he's out there quite a bit. Lucky.
Go start setting a tent up over at Luke Stone's backyard.
He did double duty. He's actually sent his wife to was it Pennsylvania?
Another show, yeah.
Yeah, he did double duty. We've done that before. I've done that with my wife. I sent her to a show. I went to another one, and turns out I should have went.
You sent her to one of my shows.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Sent her to one of your shows, and I had to do another one. And I don't know if you noticed this. I was really excited to find out that Wizard World Chicago planned their dates. They announced their dates, and I'm like, yeah, return to Wizard World Chicago. This will be awesome. It's gonna be colder. It's in October, but I could do that. Then I realized when it was, and I'm like, I can't do that. I've already got a show booked that day.
Where's that show at in October?
October was the 15th or the 17th, which I'm told was the same day as Motor City. Which upset me. I'm like, wait, whoa, Wizard, whoa! I thought we had a deal.
Well, that's not good if they're up against Motor City.
That's not. I hope Motor City whoops their butts. They. I mean, that Wizard doesn't come on. And I got stock in Wizard, so I have a vested interest in that show doing well. But
you're already committed.
Yeah,
we're already committed, aren't we? We're talking about doing a live remote from there.
Well, not from Motor City. We would love to do a live remote from Motor City, but we're Grandpa's Comic Con. We're at Grandpa's Comic Con in August
and November, right?
Yeah. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. Live remotes are gonna be weird for us because we haven't been around people in
a couple years.
Yeah.
How are they gonna put up with us?
I don't know. I might start wearing cologne again. This is not
Plus you have the award show coming up in September.
September 18th. Yeah, this is creeping up on me. You just tapped me on the show like
that ain't a creep, buddy. That's a freight train coming right at you.
Indie Vote Comic Book Awards. Indie Vote Comic Book Awards. Oh man.
But you got a countdown clock. On your page, right?
Oh yes. And we've been doing a lot of work toward getting that all set up. It's a lot of work, but a lot of fun work. If anybody's interested too, Indie Vote Comic Book Awards, go to indievoteawards.com, sign up your independent comic book today for recognition, for consideration. There is a small entry fee. That entry fee goes to Autism Speaks. We didn't want to charge an entry fee, but we had to. It's only $5 per title, $1 per category, $2 per category, I believe, right now. But yeah, you can definitely sign up. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's a live event, September 18th, and then it will be streamed online as well. Live,
and it's really a judged event. We're doing this in order to raise the awareness for alternative and independent comics, to bring out some of these products that maybe people aren't aware of or have overlooked, because it's so easy to do right now, because there's so many things out there that are crowdfunded in so many different directions that the indie market is going in, that we just want to pull the attention to some of the higher quality deserving books that deserve some recognition. Yeah, Comic-Con, Wizard World, Chicago, Motor City, and Indiana Comic-Con are the same weekend. Good God.
That's the same, and it's the same. I hate to say it. I mean, I know it's a tri-state, but wow. Yeah. Michigan, Indiana, Illinois. They're right next to each other. It's gonna be spread because people travel from those states to those conventions.
Daphne Lage says she's gonna have to relearn how to wear shoes and pants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. And I think that's one of those things where we have so many events that we just so eager to get back to, so eager to try to bring. We're not thinking about the dates. These dates won't fix themselves until about 2 years from now. Then everyone will start, because Randy, he ran a show and he told me that. They used to try to talk to each other, especially the Michigan guys. Yeah, will try to talk to, hey, I'm planning this date. Does anybody have anything on this weekend?
Well, depending on how cooperative everybody wanted to be, because there's the bitterness between some of these convention organizers from a long time ago. We're talking the 80s and 90s is legendary.
Yeah, yeah.
Some grudges still held to this day.
Randy, do you remember the Great Eastern shows in New York City?
Oh yeah, are you talking the Greenberg shows?
Yeah, I think that's what they were.
Yeah, Fred Greenberg.
They were like late 80s, early 90s.
I went out to a couple of those.
Those were real fun. That was like pre the big Javits Center shows. Mm-hmm. And they went away for a while. Like, remember that snowstorm in February of one year, like, killed the show, lost all that money, and it never came back.
Yeah.
And New York was a bunch of small shows for like years before that Javits show came out.
I really the shows that I do here are local and in farmers markets, because I love the feel of that local show, where it's just almost like a party atmosphere. Yeah. Everybody talks to everybody, and you get the time to go around and visit everybody's booth, so everybody knows what everybody's doing and going on and that kind of thing. I just love doing and being at shows like that.
Yeah, those small shows are really good. Like, that's how Cry for Dawn and Chaos Comics and Brian Polito, those guys really built up.
Oh, yeah.
Back in the early 90s, there wasn't huge shows. I mean, there was Comic-Con, but you would just go around and do like Boston and New York and Connecticut and Massachusetts, and these little shows just like every weekend you'd pop in.
Oh yeah.
And you do really well because there was a fan base, and you'd be like the only creators there, so everybody would come to your table.
Yeah.
And you met a lot of people. I mean, it was great. I love small shows.
Yeah, the small shows are a lot of fun. I miss the days when there used to be paper collectors at the shows, not just comic collectors, but guys that would have the weird stuff, the odd magazines, the 3 or 4 boxes of fanzines or mimeographed zines and stuff. You don't see that very often at shows.
Right.
And you see one every once in a great while. Somebody's going to set up because they needed to get stuff out of their basement or whatever.
Yeah,
you get to go through and dig through like old copies of Comics Buyer's Guide and so just back when it was a full newspaper where Terry Beatty was always doing the covers on That's just great stuff.
Yeah. I remember I had, when I moved out to LA, I had these like all these fanzines that I worked in, like Drawing Blood and Wicked Mystic and all that stuff. And you're like, these things are great. Like nobody, I don't know. I know that there's definitely a zine base out there because LA had a zine fest.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people doing zines,
Oh, yeah.
and it never went away. It's probably pretty big, but there's something about those 90s zines that are great.
Yes.
You know?
Yep. That got replaced by the pretty much by the black and white market come in, and the zines just kind of started fading out. And
yeah, because Diamond didn't distribute them, so there was, what was that, Fact Sheet 5? Remember Fact Sheet 5?
Oh yeah.
There were like small distributors that would distribute those, but I don't know who's distributing zines anymore. You know,
I still have a few stray copies of Rocket Blast Comic Collector.
Well, I never heard of that. Was that a distributor?
No, that was an old zine that was thrown together by professionals and near professionals. A lot of guys got a lot of the 90s guys got their start in that zine, almost like Wits End.
Right.
If you're familiar with that, where after EC shut down, Wally Wood and a lot of those guys all got together and started doing their own publication and circulating. Yeah, just classic stuff.
Well, I wish there were more distributors like Last Gasp used to carry that. And do you remember? Do you guys remember Krupp? That there was a catalog called Krupp, and they sold like, you know, zines, Zap Comics, drug paraphernalia, Freak Brothers, Anarchist Cookbook. It was like all this crazy shit. Like I think you could even buy like not illegal amphetamines, but like diet pills that they sold to speed. It was like this crazy, like you could get anything.
Well, it's all legal at the time.
Illegal stuff, but
no,
you know,
well, legal at the time.
I'm buying speed, but it's
not
really
so
like
much legal
caffeine.
anymore.
Yeah. You know, it was a crazy
crazy time.
It was a crazy like catalog. Like it was a Fantagraphics catalog with like, you know, drug paraphernalia. And then you would you'd get it and you have to hide it from your parents.
Yeah.
Because it was like, I don't want my parents looking at what I'm looking at, you know.
It's like those old Marvel black and white and the old black and white magazines that were out back when. You didn't want your parents to see those either.
Yeah, right.
But there's a breast. You know. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Let's see here.
Crazy stuff. Crazy times. We up on the chat. We had where was he? Sorry, I missed it. Elric again popped in, said he's a cartoonist.
Oh, that's cool.
It's a cartoonist from Colombia.
Hey, Elric.
Fantastic, Elric.
Welcome, man. Thanks for supporting from Colombia, man. It's a long way off.
We get people from all over the world. This is part of our
KYD. I'm sorry. No, you actually do it at IndieVolt Live at IndieVolt.com. Feel free to send me any information. Appreciate it. Fact Sheet 5 was the best sales Grandpa's Comic Con.
Oh yeah.
And also Daphne says that and they were actual Comic Cons, not multimedia nonsense. That's what they do.
Yeah, really. They were really Comic Cons for sure, man.
I don't mind. I don't mind some of the multimedia stars, but you know, it does get a little. It gets a bit much at times. Now
there's a time and place for everything. We were talking about that episodes ago, where there's a need for an adult con, but there's also a need for an old style Comic Con or these old one-day shows that are still real classic. And there's a need out there for the media shows too. You know,
from Indie Vote, I didn't have time to make the cue cards. I've been under the weather for a large portion of the day, but this one is very interesting. This one comes from David, and David says, "Hail Indie Vote." He says, "I've been creating art for about 27 years now.
Sweet.
Recently, my wife's mother, my mother-in-law, unfortunately, has moved in with us.
Oh boy.
We went out on our honeymoon anniversary to celebrate, and while out, my mother-in-law decides to treat us to a cleaned house upon our return.
Oh no.
She went into my office and reorganized everything. I can't find several drawings, some of which are coming due in the next few weeks. She swears that she didn't throw anything out, but there's no way that she did. I've explained to her even before she moved in, that my office is an organized chaos, and that most artists thrive, and work in this organized chaos.
Yep.
Just want to share my pain, not really looking for answers other than what I know I must do, which is hide the body.
Dominic Burser says, "Oh no."
Yeah, David, I'm sorry. I understand what you're talking about. I have an organized chaos myself.
Yeah, David, you're gonna have to start in one corner and work your way to the other corner. That's all you can do, and hope that you find those drawings that are coming due.
Yeah.
Best of luck to you.
Yeah.
We do feel your pain.
Yeah, I've had
I was fearing the old my mother-in-law decided to throw everything out story.
No, that would be bad, but no.
Yeah, that would be incredibly bad.
My mother had done it to my office a few times, but no more so than when I was younger and a kid. And she would go in my room, reorganize my drawings, and if they were drawings that were there was an order to how stuff ended up in my house. It was if she felt that I wasn't playing with it anymore or didn't need it anymore, it would make its way from my room to the basement.
Mm-hmm.
Once it was in the basement, it would go either over in the toy junkyard, and from the toy junkyard, it would go to under the stairs. Under the stairs was the last stop before it went to the garage. Once it was in the garage, that was it. You were never seeing it again, ever. And it was possum food at that point, because my garage was a scary place. It was like every shack in a scary movie you've ever seen. Like no one parked their cars in there. I don't know why. It was more of a barn than a garage.
It was too full of your toys. That's why.
It had an upstairs. Yeah, it was. Lola seen it and she said, "This is not a garage. This is a toy bunker." And but you know what? I rescued all my toys before I left. I still have we don't have a garage now because it's full of my toys. I'm never letting them go, ever. Mine.
What kind of toys do you have?
Oh, I got all the toys from the 80s. He-Man, Thundercats, Silverhawks. Now, some of them have been damaged throughout the years, but they're mine, damn it. And I got my Alf toys. Where you gonna find Alf toys anymore?
Yeah.
You
can't find
kill
them.
me. Yeah. I just set an Alf toy on the I said and see, you got old cats in your neighborhood. I put an Alf toy on the steps. No stray cats come on the porch. These young kittens, they come right up there. But the old cats, they don't. They know what's up. We need Alf to come back. That'd be awesome. But yeah, I don't let any of my old toys go, and I walk past them in Comic-Cons. I'm like, I got this at home. My son is getting reissues and stuff, and he just discovered Masters of the Universe. He just really discovered Ninja Turtles again. Like, he knows who they are, but he's like rediscovering them. And he asked me the other night. He said, How come you haven't created anything like Ninja Turtles?" And I'm like, "You little shit." Yeah, hurt my feelings a little bit. That's all right. It's not funny, Lola. It's not funny at all.
I have to admit that those Playmate toys, those Turtle Playmate toys, evergreen, phenomenal stuff. They took a lot of abuse.
Yeah, they did. And they're still surviving.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I got my first set. Yeah.
If you're ever interested, there's a wonderful Netflix documentary called "The Toys That Made Us."
Oh yeah.
I love that.
They talk about how the Ninja Turtles got made. Fascinating story.
Yeah, it is.
I was.
I think we had a Turtles collector on at one point.
Yeah, I was.
Had the biggest collection of Turtles memorabilia.
I was.
That must be Eric.
Yeah, I'll unmute him when he gives me the thumbs up. He can bring himself back in. He's a host. Michelle Ivy's been. She hasn't been on Indie Vote yet, has she? It's been so long.
I think a long time ago. I think we had her on.
I think she came in for a very brief second, very long, before Lola was on. I think Michelle popped in just for a quick second to say hi, and Yeah, the funny thing about turtles is that I when I was first getting into comics, I reached out to a couple of different people, for help and advice. I was doing the con, and I ended up going to the folks who made that Ninja Turtles and Other Strangeness that board game, which is oh gosh, what's the name of it? They used to be A Plus Comics. Now they switched it over to, oh, I forgot the name of their new their game company, but it's Kevin Sambita and a couple other guys. And I went out to their office. They have a big warehouse, and they were telling me the history of what they had created and how they actually helped Eastman and Laird kind of get over the Surge licensing deals. And I got a documentary on that about the called Turtle Power. And if you haven't checked that out, it's a good documentary. But between watching that and the Toys That Made Us, you get a good idea of what happened if you watch both of those.
Yeah.
So Eric's putting on headphones. Someone says, Eric, this Pop says he's bows to the greatness. And our question of the day.
Hex Allen Comics is in the house. Hey, all.
Hey, Hex.
Hey, Hex. Hope you're doing well.
It comes from I'm sorry, Philip, and it's our question of the day. And I think everyone can weigh in on this. It is Philip. He says, I'm feeling artistically burned out. For the past 3 years, I've been drawing a lot of commissions, a lot of sequential pages, but not just my book, but others. I am starting to feel like I can't do it or I need a recharge. But if I stop, I think I may be forgot about or replaced by another up-and-coming artist and may never get some of the clients I have back. At this point, I'm about 2 projects away from being done. What do you guys think about that? What do you think about suffering burnout? Is that something that's real? I'm gonna bring Eric in, and see here we got hello.
Hey there.
Hey. We can't hear you. Oh, there you go. Yeah, there. Hello.
I think I have 2 straight. There we go.
Chris, are you there?
Yes, sir. Can you hear us?
Yes, yeah. You're going to have to tell us all how you get that moving background.
OBS, right? Yeah.
Yes, OBS. Absolutely.
Okay.
And if it gets distracting or causes any seizures or anything, let me know. We can shut it off. I've had some doozies on the background before, and people have been like, please kill the background.
Please stop.
Yeah. I think it's fine for now. Did you guys hear the question?
No.
Okay. Well, the question is about burnout. A gentleman named Phil wrote in. He says that he's been feeling artistically burned out. He's working on 3 different projects, including his own, and he's now kind of burned out. And he doesn't want to stop because he thinks if he stops, well, then someone will come replace him. Other artists will take his job, and but I think he's feeling he's about to hit that brick wall. So I know that a lot of people say, yeah, artistic burnout is a real thing. I feel it running this show. It's hard to, I mean, I draw and then I have to run the show and be a father and a husband. There's a lot of stuff that can, take away from you throughout the day. But what do you guys think about artistic burnout, especially? Are you ever get tired of being creative? And I guess we'll start with Zine Comics over there. We'll start with you. You ever got tired of it? And we'll move around the board.
I haven't. I mean, there are moments where I feel like, what can I put next? But I feel like taking a small break is good for you. You do need to recharge your batteries. Sometimes the best thing to do when you can't come up with something is to put it down for a minute, walk away, and just don't think about it. And your subconscious kind of tells you what you need to do and kind of gets you reinvigorated for it. Mm-hmm. And I also think like watching really good like movies or looking at a really good comic. I mean, you can always go back to the Jack Kirby comics and just kind of get inspired by them.
Yeah.
See, I get lost in some of the other comics and I get distracted. I can't do it. I'm not as good as Kirby. I'll never be as good as Kirby.
You're easily intimidated.
Oh yeah. I surround myself with art from people that I admire, and that can be that could be a detriment to getting out of that artistic burnout, because now you're looking down. It's like looking up at you're surrounded by greatness of people that you admire until you meet them at a con and they flirt with your wife. then they're no longer your favorite. I'm taking your pussy down when I get home, asshole. How about you, Randy? How's artistic burnout? Creative burnout?
Yeah, it's not burnout as much as exhaustion. Who is the guy who wrote in? Is he anonymous or what? Has he got a name?
Philip,
you might want to, like Ezekiel said, take a break. Take a couple days off, take an hour off or whatever. Grab some great TV, grab some great comics that you love, and get back into it. There was a long time that I was very, I wouldn't really say burned out, but more or less disgusted with the industry and the direct market. But it wasn't the art form that was the problem. It was the distribution system and the way it got out to the retailers and our marketing reach and all that. And I had to stand away or step away from mainstream comics for a while. And there was a good decade there that I did my own local newspaper, as you know, the Flint Comics paper, and distributed 10,000 copies around our area, had it advertiser supported, and carried all sorts of comic strips and comic book stories and anything that I could grab that I thought was interesting to read. And it really did reinstill my love for the art form. So, and then coming back from that, thanks to not being able to make ends meet with the paper, thanks to the Flint water crisis, because I'm up here in the Flint, Michigan area. And getting up on YouTube and looking at how the market had changed, how the crowdfunding had stepped up, print on demand had stepped up, and how well the market has shifted along with that love of comics. That's what's got me back here now and today. But Philip, something that I did 10, 20 years ago is whenever I'm at a show, I've got a sketchbook. I bring a sketchbook with me, and I find the people that I admire, the people that I really like, and have them do sketches in that book. And I've collected a nice amount of convention sketch art over the years. But and I've also had people, if they're too busy or too big to do a sketch on or in the book, I have them autograph the back covers. So I love that sketchbook. I still look at it all the time, and a lot of those people I got autographs and pictures from have moved on or passed away. But it's like a little memento, and it keeps me inspired. It keeps me fired up whenever I look through it and see the different pictures. It brings back, kicks back good memories, as opposed to burnout. It sounds like you might be a little frustrated, not by the market, but by what you're drawing. And maybe you need to kick back and take a little time, an hour or so a day, and do something for yourself and find that re-inspiration into the market. Eric's moving his hand. I'll be quiet and pass on.
I didn't have a bell to ring, but you need to ring the bell for that last part there.
I can do that. There we go.
Because you definitely have to take time and do stuff for yourself to stop, not necessarily from burnout, but to keep yourself interested in what you're doing. But also, one of the things that has helped me is treating this as a job, not treating it as a lifestyle, treating it as a hobby, but treating it as a job. I've got a set amount of hours that I'm in the studio. I also have a set amount of hours that I make sure that that's my time or my family's time, or, I'm not doing anything in the studio. I stay out, I go out and I do some hard labor in the garden or something. If you keep yourself, like we have a tendency to be hermits, to keep ourselves hidden away until we're just exhausted. And you can't do that, because that's really going to derail you. And especially when you're doing stuff at a professional level, like myself, like Randy, where this is a job, you have to be able to produce when you don't feel like it. You've got to have a tank to go to do that. And the only way you keep that tank filled is if I got this time scheduled, that's my time. That's my time to rest. That's my time to relax. You've got that to look forward to.
And something else that I found, the older I get, the more I appreciate, and that's what they call quality time, is that I find working early in the morning or working late at night, keeping those artist hours, there are certain hours of the day where you are a lot more productive than other hours of the day. And if you know your non-productive hours, that's when you cut away from the board instead of making yourself work, because that'll add to your burnout. Step away, do that labor that Eric was talking about, tend the garden, fix something in the house or whatever you have to do in order to get your mind off of it. Because I find myself to be so productive during even doing 2 hours worth of work sometimes during that productive period is more important and is more productive than working an entire day in those unproductive hours.
I see. I don't know, because like there's been times where I'm like, oh crap, the mortgage is due. I better finish that drawing.
Right.
And all of a sudden, creative block cured. It's gone. But but I know what you mean. And again, my whole life has kind of been surrounded by comics, like the last 3 years. From running my own publishing company, drawing myself, Indie Vault, now Liberty. It's like everything revolves around comics. So I do get burned out, and I've been burned out. And you have to take those breaks where you can. Frank, how about you? You know.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy for me, like when I'm working on a show, or if I'm working, doing storyboards on a show. It's pretty much 9 to 5, or an 8 or 9 hour day. I could go to work, I could do my work, I could come home, take a little break, and then kind of go back into doing my comic stuff at night or my painting. Spend maybe 2 to 3 hours doing that. So I am tired at night when I get home, but I just try to come home. I spend some time with my wife. I chill out. Go for a walk, and then maybe I take a little get up, and then I have a couple hours where I could do my own stuff. And doing that week after week, you do get burnout. I can't do it every night. And then I have the weekends. But when I'm not working on a show or an animated cartoon or a film, the day is all mine. And it does kind of, if you work all day, you do kind of get burnt out, and you have to like really schedule your time, this is creative time. I have to go to the post office. This is exercise. Like, I find it a lot harder to schedule the time, but you just work, you take a little break, you work. But you do get burnt out. It just happens. I marvel at these guys that can work. I talk to some comic book creators. I'm like, I'm doing a 10, 12 hour day, just drawing comics all day. I'm like, how do you do it? It's just crazy, but some people do it.
How about you, Chris? What do you think?
Well, I'm kind of down here laughing because what he just said is kind of what I do. I work an 8 hour day, then I come home and I put anywhere between 8 and 10 hours on the board, and it's hard for me to relate to burnout just because. For me, the whole comic book creation process is such an escape. It actually resolves burnout that I might have in the 8 hour grind every day. And
so you do an 8 and then another 8 in comics every day?
Oh God, yeah, and I love it. My wife here has to deal with it.
What about the weekends then? Then when Saturday and Sunday comes, you're another 8 or 10 doing comics?
Well,
you got to take some
time. An all day, all night thing. I just keep going and going.
Wow, you've got a super metabolism, dude. That is your superpower. I can't do it. I couldn't do an 8 and then another 8. No way.
Well, to be honest, I'm blaming entirely I was diagnosed with Asperger's probably about 8 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Right. Yep. There you go.
I hyper focus. Like I taught myself how to play guitar in 3 years when I was a kid, just because.
Wow. Asperger's is really a superpower. Like they say, like Elon Musk said he had it, and I know some people that had it that were super creative and super into like animation or whatever, and like really good, like amazingly good. But like socially, maybe they were a little awkward or something, or they just had this little, certain something when you have Asperger's might be, I don't know, I don't want to say off, but just different or whatever. But they've got a super talent. It's crazy.
You know what? It's the social thing is funny because once, like, my wife is here with me because I was having anxiety about hanging out with a bunch of geeks who I should feel totally cool with. And after I know you guys for a little bit, I would feel cool. But you know, when Eric sent the link, I was like, honey, the link is here. What do I do? Yeah, so stupid.
Right.
You know, you mentioned getting diagnosed. I didn't get diagnosed with Asperger's since I was in my 30s, and it made a lot of stuff very clear.
Right.
And it was one of the things that I was like, oh, that's why that happens. I see, and
That's awesome.
it was Rick.
That's when he started making all these different companies.
The doctor was like, and this can explain why you can put together a computer and take it apart and do all that stuff, but you can't tie your own shoes without help. And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, you know, and so it made a lot of stuff clear to me. And I was like, I see, you know, like, you don't like those Velcro straps on your shoes, do you? No. You know, it's like, but it made like, I will admit to the hyper focusing that can be there are nights I can't sleep. I'll lay in bed constantly.
I think that's everybody though, especially anybody that's creative. We've had sleepless nights where you're sitting there and the cogs are just moving.
Yeah, like you're sleeping.
You know,
like
the only thing I could think of, one thing that I do is I work with a lot of kids, and if I'm feeling, I wouldn't call it burnout, but if I'm not coming up with anything, all I need to do is hang around them for 20 minutes, and their youthfulness, it's almost like a sponge. They just give you so much energy by hanging around them.
Right.
And, you know, kids are the best thing. Like, I love going to the cons, and my favorite part are the kids that are kind of wandering around and they walk up and they're into comics, but nobody wants to talk to them because, you know, they're a kid. But yeah, we will.
Doris Jones, Labors of Love, says that's what my art is for me. I don't know what I'd be like if art was the day job though.
I tried doing what Eric said. I tried getting up, treating comics like it was a job. And the problem for me was that the people in my household didn't understand I was at work. So it was like, I can't stop and go to the market now. I'm working. You wouldn't ask me to do this if I was, you know, doing something else. You wouldn't call me if I was a cashier somewhere and say, hey, could you stop working right now and go run? You wouldn't do that. So that was a problem for me. That's why that particular viewpoint didn't work for me. But yeah, Phil, we all understand that burnout, I guess.
Hex Allen Comics says, I avoid burnout by taking days off at a time from drawing and social media. It says there will always be another gig.
You know,
Dominic says endless all-nighters and art school burn me out bad. It's a real thing. Got to take care. And of course, Pop says golf.
Yeah.
Golf.
Randy, do you think also it has a bit more to do with consumption? Like, for example, when I was just making comics, I was like, okay, I'm just making my comics. I don't care what this person's problem is, what that person's problem is. And then now I got Indie Vault where I gotta, you know, I'm making comics and now I'm
it's your job to know what this person's problem is.
Yeah, and that became my job. So now it's like, hey, I don't want to care because people have asked me, what does it matter to you? And I'm like, well, see, I got Indie Vault. It has to matter to me. It's news. I don't want to know it, but for this company to work, I have to know it. So I guess for me, that's another way burnout comes in because it's, you know, it's you people. It's you people are the problem. That's what it is.
Creating Chaos says, I have Asperger's and I'm awkward as fuck, but I can laser focus and get shit done.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's a superpower, man.
It is. And again, folks, we're TVMA DLSV. So you might hear some words that your children, you might not want your kids to hear. Just so you know.
It took me a second to know what you meant by that.
Critical Blast is awesome.
Go ahead.
My last Monday, Chris and Diana, and my Thursday, Frank Ford, are over here on the Better Place to Be All. Critical Blast. Thank you. Appreciate it. Critical Blast has been. Has he been on Indie Vault? I know that Lola's been on there.
Yeah, I think he's been on. I've been on Critical Blast. Yeah.
Seth says,
ADHD power here. Hyperfocus can be amazing, but at times I sit down to work and end up cleaning the kitchen.
And Doris says, not if anyone can relate. But I just said this today. I have no idea how anyone draws the same thing every day. I can never do what comic artists do.
Never say never.
Sequentials.
Yep.
You get
gotta get in there and start doing it.
Yeah. Never.
Randy, can you take over for a little bit? I'll step away.
Yeah, sure. You can step away. Actually, Varian, are we up? We're up on the radio, right?
We are. I can tell you right now that we got Mexico listening, and we've got Australia right now listening. We are at 62,004. 62,000.
Just starting. Yep.
The people listening on IndieVolt Radio. Thank you.
We had Eric and Chris come on without introducing themselves, especially to our radio audience. So we should probably do that.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, I'm gonna step away, guys.
All right, we'll see you in a minute. Eric, introduce yourself to the radio audience.
Well, my name is Eric Hudson. I'm at Dreaded Dinosaur. I'm famous for wrestling art. Where I do some anime stuff. We published the Roddy Piper Kilted Avenger comic book over there. And currently artist for American Bliss through Genuine Comics, but it'll be coming out later on this year. We have a British Bulldog book in production at Mess Bucket Comics. I have the webtoon Dreaded Dinosaur Man, my own IP, taking a break from that while I'm working on American Bliss. And recurring character on this network.
Cool.
Reoccurring character. Yeah. Chris, introduce yourself to the radio audience.
Well, hello, everybody. I am Chris Tamulevich, creator of The Great Cyclopean, which is our new comic book series. My wife is my editor, my manager, and the one who keeps me on track. But we've done like 8 books now. 4 were crowdfunded. Actually, they all were crowdfunded at some point because we ended up putting a collection together and doing that one. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we're kind of new. When I first started listening to your show tonight, I heard a lot of experience out there. I spent 15 years in graphic arts in Orlando, never got into the Hollywood scene. Actually thought that I wanted to do comics my whole life, but I thought I wasn't qualified because of a rejection letter from Marvel, which I took way too hard. I thought for sure that meant I wasn't meant to be in comics. And so yeah, about 25 years later, I started drawing again, and she said, why don't you do it? This is the time. So that's what we're doing. And so really the last 3 years have just been diving in, and we're getting to a point now where we're excited with the work. You know, when we first started, there were rough edges and things you had to learn, and everything from lettering to coloring to ink, all that stuff. And now we're coming out and we're looking for the community because we're like, yeah, we want to get involved.
So he is a late bloomer as far as comic artists, I think. Mm-hmm. And we go under the name of Hero Shack Press. We forgot to mention that.
Hero Shack?
Hero Shack Press.
Well,
yes.
She keeps saying press. HeroShack.com is the website.
Yes, that's true.
And actually, she just got a lawyer to get us legit. So our LCC is about finalized now.
LLC. Yep. We knew what you meant. Sure.
She's the business lady. You can tell I'm like LSD, LLC, whatever it is.
Well, just know that you're among friends here, fellow professionals, and we're all here to help each other out. Part of us doing the IndieVolt podcast is to spread that information, let folks not only know about the great products and the great people that are out there, but also about the industry, and to help everybody out on any problems that we might have. That's why Varian takes questions like that. We always ask questions at the start of the show. So
it's pretty awesome.
We love doing
a lot of things, but you guys are definitely, I don't know. I know Critical Blast through, I guess I know you guys through him. He kind of pointed this way, and it's a whole different kind of crowd. The crowd we first ran into on Twitter was very aggressive and not very kind.
Well, that's because you ran into them on Twitter.
Yes. We were doing the conventions and somebody said, use Twitter to publicize. And no, it's okay, but it's not what I thought it would be.
You can reach a lot of people.
I'm the nice one on Twitter.
There we go.
I've been talking to you.
Yep. Twitter is great to promote yourself, but it's not a social platform. It's more of a marketing platform because every time I go up on Twitter, I don't stay very long. I'm hardly there, maybe 2 or 3 times a week. And I always walk away going, oh, everybody's so bitter.
Yeah.
Yucky,
You know?
right?
It's an angry platform. I use it because you have the ability for people to retweet you, which could spread everything faster, where that doesn't really happen on Instagram, although it does on Facebook. But I feel like it is important to be on Twitter just for that. Even if you go on Hootsuite, you could go on Hootsuite and program a whole month and just let it go. You won't be interacting, but at least you'll be posting every day, and that could grow your platform. But you just don't have to interact if it upsets you, because a lot of people, Randy said, I was on Twitter, I F everybody on Twitter, and some people say that about Facebook. I quit Facebook. I hate Facebook, but if you're growing a business and you have a brand, I think it's important to be on all the platforms.
You really have to push that recognition out there.
Even TikTok,
Yeah, I just have to learn not to get so emotional on I get into stupid debates that I don't even have a dog in. And
yes, I know exactly what you mean.
I'm like, hey, he said the sky is blue, but it's really kind of a aqua color today. I'm going to argue. Why, Chris?
He's doing better though. I've been trying to pull him away from that. Just tweet your work, and that's it.
Yeah, right. Don't engage the other argument stuff. I stay away from it.
You're really not
right.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I still do more than I should, but she's right. She's reining me in slowly but surely.
Yeah, you're really not going to change very many minds on Twitter. You're only there for so many characters anyway, and then you got to go. But it's great for marketing. So Pop says, retweet, run.
That's pretty funny.
True.
So yeah, I guess that was our introduction.
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool.
Joe from the desk of a small press.
To say, yeah.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. Joe from the desk of a small press publisher says, "Cool. It is nice to have a significant other involved in the business with you."
Yep. I keep him grounded. I'm like, you can't run with that idea. That would not.
Oh yeah, she shoots down several ideas, but
good Lord help us.
Yeah, but it's become a bartering system, like when I really want to do something, I can kind of it's just like dealing with a real editor. You got to kind of work it in, massage it,
He tries. Like, nope, not flying. That's out. That line, scratch it. That's lame. Nope.
Yeah, she will.
So, I know the feeling.
It's taken me a while to build up to that because I had to separate that this is my husband. I'm like, you want me for this job that doesn't pay much, actually nothing, but it's okay. We're just starting out, and I'm going to do a good job. You have to listen to what I say or don't use me.
Yep.
So
I've fired her 100 times, but I always rehire her, a few minutes
totally
later.
Fires me. You're the worst business person ever. Well, I'll be honest. I'm new to social media. I don't really know. You should have seen me trying to tweet back, Indie Princess over here. I'm like, okay, she just tweeted. What do I do now? He's like, oh, you do this. So I'm learning. But in this business, I've noticed that social media is the way to go. I mean, so learning how to be out there every day and get our name out there and get his amazing work out there. I'm learning and I'm listening to all of you guys and people that seem intelligent and they're professional. That's the advice I take. Not the dudes that are out there slinging what. It's like, why? Don't get entangled with that. So.
And that's something that we've talked about on the show before. Don't ever take one person's advice as being the end all do all. Go out there and surf and look and get up on different sites on YouTube and decide. Take your time and educate yourself. Do the research. Get an education. That's a big thing that we promote here. Go out there and get those different tastes out there and decide where you want to go, who you want to be around, who's good to talk to, who's going to have the solid advice. There's everybody out there has got advice, and some of it is incredibly legitimate. Some of it might not even fit what you're doing, but there's such an example in the market. Somebody who's their politics might not align with you, their product might not remotely interest you, but if they've gone out there and they've been successful, there is something usually in what they're doing that you can apply to what you do and learn from.
Yeah.
And it's important to go out there and absorb that.
Right. And that's what I'm doing now. I'm really trying to align myself and learn from those who have success.
JD.
And I try to stay away from the drama.
Yes.
And she does that the whole time while I try to act like I'm an expert. Honey, I know comics. Trust me, I know what to do.
We're now joined by the JD Calderon. JD, introduce yourself to the radio audience.
How you doing? My name is JD Calderon. I'm the writer and creator of the Oswald Chronicles and Tall Tales. And, you know, that's who I am.
You're just here. Thanks for joining us, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming on. Where to now?
Campaigns.
Campaigns. Frank, you had a campaign?
Yeah. You want me to share screen?
You can. Absolutely.
Yep.
Share
Get that up
screen
there.
right now. Screen number 2. This is currently on Kickstarter. We just funded a few days ago, where our goal was 3,000, but it is called Warlash Cold Metal Mayhem, and it's a character I created in the 90s and then published in the 2000s. But it is 2 comic books: Warlash Cold Metal Mayhem #1 and Warlash Bioburden #1, both one-shots.
Look at those covers. That's awesome.
Yeah, this is a little bit about the character, because you always think, oh, everybody knows my character, but they don't. So
No.
Warlash is just kind of an armored dystopian warrior of the future. Like, he's like a little bit RoboCop, a little bit Judge Dredd, a little bit the Scorpion villain from Spider-Man. And these are all comics that I've written, I've drawn, and other people have drawn in the past. Like, there's some Destroyer of Abhorrent Worms. That's Simon Kudransky from Spawn and Batman. And I was working with him before he got real famous. So it's kind of cool to see some of his stuff. Like, this is old Simon Kudransky work. That's actually my work at the bottom, but it's mislabeled. But, that's a little bit about the character. This is a little bit about me, the shows I worked on. We talked about that before. But I do storyboards for film and animation when I'm not doing comics. These are the 2 covers. Cold Metal Mayhem and Bioburden. One is by Andy Hall, the other is by Homeros Jelani. These are both 32-page anthologies, but there's short stories, 3 short stories. That's the cover to Cold Metal Mayhem. These are some interiors, and that's Steve Mannion's work. I don't know if you guys know him from Fearless Dawn. He's over at Albatross now. They just did a Hellboy versus Fearless Dawn comic book, a one-shot.
Yeah.
But this is some work he did for me a few years ago, and we just colored it recently. Omar Estevez did the colors. This right here is work by Dwayne Harris. He did another short story in Cold Metal Mayhem. Dwayne Harris works for Heavy Metal. He's worked for a bunch of other indie publishers. Really amazing artist and storyteller, really top-notch stuff. So this is another little 12-page short story about Warlash and his world, and he goes to save this girl who has these superpowers, who is kidnapped by a villain. The rewards, for $10, you get 2 comics, 2 $5 comics signed by me with a certificate. So that's a pretty good deal. It's a 2 32-page books, both signed. For $20, you get the Warlash Dark Noir original 3-issue set. So this is also signed by me. There are limited quantities of these, but you get 1, 2, and 3 for $20. Another $20 reward, you get the Dave Fout variants of Cold Metal Mayhem and Bioburden. So those are $10 each, and we're also going to offer those as add-ons. $20 reward, I'm trying a little experiment here. This is my Vicious Vixens sketchbook. It's, sexy girls, heroines, villains. It's kind of like a sketchbook that I do on paper and on my iPad when I'm just kind of hanging out in front of the TV. So if you guys want to see some of the behind-the-scenes rough stuff, that's that. $40, we have the metal variants. These will be very limited in print. For $50, you can get a sketch cover with a sketch on it. So both issues have sketch covers. You can get the $100 reward. Get both of them. $150 is everything you just saw, and you save $30. And for $180, you get everything plus the Vicious Vixen sketchbook, so you save $30 there too. $40 reward is a little add-on, a bunch of digital copies for those people that don't want to pay shipping or are overseas and it's too exorbitant. You get the Asylum Press backstock. So it's Warlash, Billy Boy, Black Powder, Vampire Versus, Insidious Tales, Asylum of Horrors, Beyond Doomsday, and Detox. So it's a bunch of titles we've published over the years. And if you're into horror, mature reader stuff, action, violence, really dark, twisted stuff, this stuff is for you because it's definitely not, it's definitely like pre-code, sick, twisted, demented stuff. It is not something you would find on your racks. Definitely something you'd see in the 90s.
Not for the weak or the meek.
Not for the weak or the weary. Stretch goals, we just reached the $3,000 goal. So 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, there's a bunch of cards and some prints, some of the covers, like Virgin covers we're going to have. And then for add-ons, I got a bunch of stuff. I'll go through this quick. It's $200. I have copies of Heavy Metal 300, the sketch edition. Because I worked on the magazine, I put a lot of stuff into 300. I'm doing sketch covers, painted covers like you see. That's Nelson from the movie. So for 200, you could add on. And then a lot of backstock. So Asylum of Horrors 1 and 2, Asylum of Horrors 3, Vampire Versus #1 second printing signed, the Eek trade paperback, which is a horror anthology, Billy Boy 1, 2, and 3, Zombie Terrors trade paperback, Vampire Versus #1 first printing, and then a bunch of Fearless Dawn sets, Chestacles sketchbook, which is a Jim Smith book, Hex of the Wicked Witch, Satan's Powder Room, which is a book I did with Robert Rhine, Chicken Soup for Satan.
It's like an hardcore underground.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Chicken Soup for Satan was another book that Robert Rhine, if you've seen that book, he did that. And then Satan Gone Wild. That was the trilogy of Satan one-shots we did. And then Satan's Three-Ring Circus of Hell is the collection of those with some new material. So we had that trade paperback. From Beyond was the original first comic book I did in '91. So we have limited copies of that. It's super rare, and it's early Al Columbia. If you know his stuff from Fantagraphics and stuff, it's stuff he did before the Fantagraphics stuff and right before he went to work for Bill Sienkiewicz on Big Numbers. And then Strange Pirate Tales, which is an early underground Steve Mannion book. So that's the campaign. Those are the add-ons, and we're looking to do, if we could get it up this week and do like 5,000 or 6,000, that would be great. I think that probably is maybe too ambitious, but like I said, Asylum Press, this is our second campaign, and we're just trying to get the word out. We feel we're doing really good books, and we're just trying to connect with the indie community because it's been really supportive on indie books. Like I'm amazed at how strong the Kickstarter and Indiegogo, fan base is.
Yeah.
So we're just trying to get out there, spread the word and stuff.
And it's growing really hard. I think it's a whole another avenue to get opened up for sequential art. That's Warlash, Cold Metal Mayhem, and Bioburden #1 comics and more over on Kickstarter.
Yep, and it's going till June 19th is the last day. So this is the last week push.
4 days to go.
Yep.
I just backed it.
You just backed it?
I did.
Oh, cool. Thank you. So I didn't know if when Pops booked me on the show, he said, the deal was that I was going to draw the hosts as Bob's Burgers characters. Did he tell you that?
Didn't tell me.
Oh.
No.
So that was what
but we love Pops, and if he got you on the show, it's a good thing. You don't have to draw for
Well, I already did it.
Varian would always love to see himself as any character.
Mm-hmm.
Go around the room, and we'll come back and I'll show you some of the drawings that I did.
Oh, sweet. Awesome. We will get back to you.
Sugar's in the chat. Hail, Sugar.
Hey, Sugar.
What's up, Sugar?
Hey, Chris.
Good to see. Yeah, Pop says Frank's been around for a while. Yeah, we covered that. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's
a little
good.
bit.
It's all good. I think Frank, Pop says, I think Frank was going to be on Backer Shots this weekend, too.
I think they're going to have me on Saturday.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Is that your thing, Lola? Are you on that show?
I'm the host of that show.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that. Great.
That's my show, yeah.
Yeah, cool. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know if I'll be doing shots, but I'll have some beers and stuff. I can't handle shots anymore. I used to, in my 20s, I was wild for sure. I love shots. I'd go to the bar, it would be like, started off with a beer and a shot. And then I'd be like, then I could relax. Then I could really focus on drinking after I did that. But,
Last Saturday,
so I can't,
Last Saturday we had so many backers that I threw up.
Wow. Well,
Taking so many shots.
I don't necessarily know.
She
if you
needs
have
to be
do
careful
that.
this week. Yeah.
Yeah. So have like a shot of water or something in it. You don't have to do a shot of liquor every time, right? Do a soda.
No, that's the
Monster.
fun. It's fun.
Iced tea, maple syrup, they can look like whiskey.
There we
go.
Yeah.
I get drunk to help you guys out.
Or just smaller amounts. How about that?
She gets drunk so you don't have to. That's what she's saying.
They are small. It's not even a normal size shot glass.
All right.
Okay.
But I did 10 of them. I did 10 shots of a drink called liquid cocaine.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Wow.
It's your liver.
Wow.
I'm doing liquid cocaine again this Saturday.
More power to you. Oh my
Sure.
goodness.
And again, folks, that's not a show that is on the Indie Volt network. So you
have to find that on my YouTube.
Jump on that through YouTube. Ezekiel, what's up?
Hey, how are you?
Good, man. Do you have a campaign or something to show us?
As a matter of fact, I do. And if everybody's fine with it, I also have a commercial for my comic I made.
Cool.
If you can pop it up there, we'll share it.
Awesome.
All right.
No copyrighted music, right?
Yeah, no copyrighted music.
No music in there whatsoever.
All right. We're good then.
All right. Now let me see, because like I said, this is one of the first times I've ever been on a live show. So
along the bottom, you have a share, a little screen there that says share.
Gotcha.
If you hit on that, you'll have another screen that'll pop up. You want to share screen.
Make sure you click the share audio.
Yep, and make sure you click share audio. That's down in the lower left. There's a little box there that says share audio, and then you pull in whatever that you need to show us, and it'll pop up here, and we'll pass it along.
Thank you, Joe. Leave me alone. I can handle it. I threw up and I got back to taking more shots.
Wow.
All right, we're gonna throw that up there. There we go.
All right.
Click that full screen. There you are. You got it. Is the volume up? There we go.
First time I found, I can tell. I know it. Finish doing some mainstream combos. I got one book. You gotta buy several other type books just to understand what the hell is going on. What's that comic book over there? That's Zion comics. You only gotta buy one of those to know what's going on. But that Zion comic is #1. So
Can you turn up the volume a little?
If you're interested in #1s, I've got dozens. As a matter of fact, I got one mainstream title that just rebooted. The reboot from the previous reboot. I've never seen that character. Is she new? New schmoo? Who needs something new?
There you go.
Read about the same old character who's been doing the same thing since the 30s. Not changed up. He's a rich guy who beats up poor people. Okay. Wait, I got you looking for something old yet new. How about this? The mainstream guys have replaced all the old characters with new characters of diversity. I don't want to see another batch of woke character swaps. I want that Zion comic. I figured you said I can't sell this recycled to nobody. Back Forerunners by Zion Comics. Now on Indiegogo.
And that's Forerunners, F-O-R-E, Runners. Over on
Yes.
Indiegogo.
Correct.
Tell us about that book. There we are.
The comic arts for the Secret Tommy, the best power.
Sorry about that.
Not a problem. There you go. Forerunners, issue 1.
Yeah. So what this comic was about was, I kept thinking about superhero comics, and if we were really in their worlds, like, it's always interesting thinking about. It's always a superhero that starts first, a superhero gets their powers, and then villains follow afterwards. And I thought, usually real life doesn't happen that way. Usually, sadly, someone does a crime, someone does something wrong, and we have to create a law to fix it. So my idea was, what if supervillains come first? How does the world react? You know, what did they do to stop them? And so that's how Forerunners got created. And this is our very first comic from my company. You can go for a digital edition for $5. The first issue plus a digital edition for $10. You can go the Forerunners physical edition, digital edition, and a bookmark for $15. And you can go Forerunners print edition, digital edition with a poster. Now I'm going to butcher his name, so I apologize, but by the great Preston Escovedo, I believe it's pronounced. And I'm sorry if I messed up his name.
Sounds right.
And then the ultimate tier, you get everything above: a print edition, a bookmark, digital edition, and the poster. And you can read a sample of it online just to make sure you do like it. And this is just the very first issue of what we hope will be a new comic book universe that we can start. And I did the writing and the lettering. It was illustrated by the great illustrator Christopher Bradbury, and it was colored by Guillermo, I'm butchering this name too, Suarez.
Yep. Guillermo Suarez.
And that's our book, and we just hope you'll back it. And we have more books to come, and we're just very excited to get our feet off the ground.
Sweet. Got to start somewhere.
That's right.
Absolutely. That's Forerunners, F-O-R-E, Runners, over on Indiegogo. So take a look there. I'm going to take that off. There we go. Back to there. We lost Eric, apparently, during the show, so that's all right. He might come back later. We'll see. There he is. You got to keep Frank in that Ann B. Davis square for the Brady Bunch.
Yeah, right. I love it.
There we are. Chris.
Yes, sir.
What's up, buddy?
Yeah.
What do you got?
Let's see. I'm going to pull it up for you here.
Absolutely.
So we have the great Cyclopean. He's, of course, an original character. And let's see. That should be shared now.
Right there. The Eternity panel there.
Yeah, let's see. All right. Yeah, it's weird.
Should you try it again?
Yeah. Should I just reset it?
Yeah, reset it.
There we go. Let's try this again. All right. We want tab. We want that. And hopefully this one works.
Bob says Preston is a beast. That goes back to Forerunners.
Yeah, he's got some great work out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we are. The
Cyclopean.
Cyclopean.
Right, so let me make this a little bigger.
There you go.
So Cyclopean is actually one of the first characters I ever made when I was a child.
Sure.
When I got back into making comics about 3 years ago, he was positioned in a team called the United Foundation of Order. And of course, like most beginners, I made all the mistakes I could. I made a team book. The Cyclopean, the Great Cyclopean, is going to be a series featuring him. Basically, it's a reboot of the universe that I sandboxed in for the first 2 years. And he's just an exciting character. He's from, we believe he's from outer space. There's the cover. We don't do variants. I noticed a lot of people have variants, and they're great and all.
Mm-hmm.
We just haven't gotten that far. I'll be happy to sell the one cover, let alone many covers.
Sure.
But he's as far as we know, he's from outer space. He was raised by the government in foster homes, and when we catch up with him, he has graduated from high school, and he's being groomed to be the next great American superhero. Yeah, he is unique. He's a one-eyed creature. He has no mouth and no ears, so he uses sign language predominantly.
Oh.
Among other things, he has a very unique way of eating that some people have asked about that we have not, and probably won't reveal for a while. This is actually a decent view of his government-issued costume. However, this changes throughout the story depending on where he's at, because I always have a sense of genuine life. So a lot of times he won't be in costume when he's in battle. What you're looking at there is kind of a collage of pages. And yeah, as you can see, he's there right next to the flags and the president. And essentially, I've got like the first year of issues all plotted out. Probably the first 3 are scripted. And we're just going through building our series. Yes, honey. Oh, you want to talk about the tiers?
Yeah, you should let 'em know
So the
about
tiers
Yes,
are really
please.
basic. We have the $5 PDF. We have what we do is we charge $15 a book, no postage, ships anywhere in the world. And then we offer.
This is new.
What?
Your new pledge thing.
Yeah, well, it's not that new. It's been there for about a week. But when we go to the conventions, we love giving out comic books and all sorts of items. And whenever we do crowdfunders, we always have, well, to be frank, we've had relatives that just dump money into the campaign as a donation. So I created these 2 tiers, a 3-pack and a 5-pack that they can purchase to put towards the campaign, and we'll have books that we can actually hand out at the shows and conventions that we're going to this summer. And it's kind of a crazy little tier, but it's kind of fun because I know at least a few people who want to do it. So we'll have a whole bunch of comic books available to give away to kids while we're out at these shows.
Sure.
Now, what's on the screen right now is Kidclopian. This is a bonus story of Cyclopean in 3rd grade. And the whole point of this is we're eventually going to branch this out into its own series as well, using another artist that has more of a Disney cartoon feel than I do. But I had done this story, so we decided just to put it all together.
Yeah.
And it turns it out to a 40-page book.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Looks like fun. Old style, fun superheroes.
Well, my inspiration is definitely, the Marvel era of 80s to early 90s. And Cyclopean kind of hits on all of those tropes and a lot of the stereotypes while breaking them through the story that's told. Because he's definitely a unique creature. And I have to be careful what I say because I always say too much, but there's a very cool story behind him that folds out from what we've already told you. In other words, from him being an extraterrestrial and being raised by the government, there's a lot more to that than just just to be transparent, there's a lot more to it than the Clark Kent Superman trope there, even though that's what we're playing off of to start with.
Sure. Yeah.
He's very lovable. I like the fact that he has a really cool way to communicate where he can't speak and he can't hear. So the story has a lot of that. Those little, what do I want to say, experiences where because he can't hear, you can sneak up behind him type of things. And it has a lot of comedy.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of,
it's a lot of funny
because
stuff.
he's deaf, there's a lot of things that, even though he's super powered, and that doesn't mean flight and everything, he's basically just strong and fast and invincible if he sees the attack coming. One thing I should say, if he sees an attack coming and his muscles tense up, he becomes almost invincible. If he doesn't see it coming and his muscles don't tense up, he's far more vulnerable to attack, which is it plays into his story. Obviously, you probably see the obvious ways it could. Diana's kind of screaming one of them. If you sneak up on him, he's kind of susceptible. But yeah.
I don't know.
That's the obvious one, but there's a lot of ways we can use that.
He's a fun character. I'm going to be making Cyclopean dolls too at the couple of shows we've got booked this summer, so people can purchase those. We did a couple of those, 2 or 3 years ago?
Yeah, we do. Well, she's done the dolls before. They're always popular. Just little pillow dolls, but
sure,
there's something about a one-eyed superhero that always seems to attract people. So. Yeah.
And is that over on Indiegogo?
That is actually
or
on Kickstarter.
Kickstarter.
That's the Kickstarter.
Cyclopean. folks. That's
Yep.
CYCLOPIAN. And for our
That's
radio
right.
audience, this is a character that you have to look at. So go over and take a look at this character. This is
Yeah, thank
a
you
great
so much
book.
for
Looks
saying
like a
that.
lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely.
The Great Cyclopean.
Yeah. And of course, I do all the work in it, but it's not because I'm all that great at anything. I'm pretty good at what I do, but it's mostly because I'm difficult to work with. So at the pace I work with, I just started doing it all. Instead of like hounding an inker for the inks to come back, you've had those inks 20 minutes. Why haven't they come back? It's not fair to
City
them.
writes it, he inks it, he colors it.
Right.
He does.
So Kidclopian is going to be exciting because I'm writing that and we're actually hiring a local artist to draw it. So that'll be my first foray into teen comics.
Yes.
Since I was a kid.
And Pops has thrown that link over into the chat. We appreciate you, Pops, very much. Go over there and take a look at the book. And Chris, nothing to be at all to be ashamed of. Everybody starts somewhere. This is a great looking book. Phenomenal effort, I think. That everybody needs to take a look at. Buy in if you can, back it if you can. Give Chris a hand here. And it like I said, it just looks like a fun book.
Yeah, the character alone, the character design is really interesting. It catches you right away.
Yeah.
You can definitely tell it's something different.
Yeah, every convention we went to when we first started, he was one of the flagship characters. And he stood out above everything. I had some real flops, but he was so popular that it was almost like people were telling me, why don't you just do a book on him?
Yep.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, he does kind of stand out in a way. Yeah.
And again, folks, that's the Great Cyclopean over on Kickstarter. Go over and take a look.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks so much for being on. Great. You're gonna have to keep us informed how the campaign goes.
Absolutely. We'll definitely do that. In fact, now that I know where you guys are, I'll be watching a lot more of your streams.
Great. Well, we are archived over on YouTube, over at the Indie Volt channel. So if you go back far enough, everybody starts somewhere. And we've been doing this for a couple of years. And the first couple of broadcasts that Varian and I did, we both look like we're hiding out in a small dark closet somewhere, just talking to each other, just trying to raise a conversation and get things going. So it takes a while to get that, get your sea legs and to get out there and get in front of folks. So
we're excited to be here, and this is one of the first steps into that. So
yeah, well, don't let it intimidate you. It just head right in. A lot of times you're just talking to friends anyway. Even though we have such a wide internet audience, the majority of the folks that are listening to us are all fans and artists, just like you and I. And the fun part about doing this podcast is that you get so many people from around the world. When Varian was initially started telling me his numbers, I didn't believe him. It's like, 62,000. Come on, we're really not hitting that many people. And then I watched over the next couple of months my Facebook friends list double, and it's all from artists from all over the place. I mean, I get friend requests from everywhere, and it's always different. Pakistan, India, just in Peru, incredible places. We've got a guy here in the chat from Colombia that draws or that paints.
Wonderful. Yeah,
So
I remember when we came in. Yeah.
There's all sorts of folks from all over, and we've had a wide variety of artists on over the years from all sorts of different places. We just love it.
The beauty is they normally found us with the radio.
Yeah.
Which cost me a ton of money.
We're fixing that. We got sponsors like the great Gemini mailers here.
Oh, yeah. Can't deny that. Can't deny it's been fun.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry. I see Frank is sharing something. Frank, you put this on screen? Were you sharing something?
Yeah, Frank had something shared. Yeah, he's got.
Yeah, I was sharing my Kickstarter, but I was doing some drawings of you guys in the Bob's Burger style.
Nice.
There would be Randy.
Oh, that's awesome. Sweet.
That's really funny. And with a little thought bubble. I think there might be some skin in this mag.
That's funny.
So that's him in the Bob's Burger style. I did Lola.
Oh.
I gotta fix the crown because you gotta show some like a dark color behind there. But that's I don't know what else do you wear, Lola? Do you have a certain kind of style, or do you like your hair down more?
Lately it's been up, but I do wear it down too.
Well, it's summer.
Maybe,
so yeah.
I'm not sure if show me a picture with your hair down. I could fix that up. And then Varian.
Oh, you want to?
There we go.
That's awesome. Nice. I love that one. That one's awesome.
That is great.
That's pretty fun.
Yeah,
fun,
that becomes a profile pic. Yeah,
man. Indie Volt.
You know, it's funny. I was joking about the glasses. People thought I was trying to be cool. I've got this key light on me, and it's such a weird brightness or a weird hue that it causes my eyes to water.
Yeah.
So I don't want people think that I was like sitting there crying half the time. So I need the glasses. I got them over here. I got to grab them in a second. But yeah, I have to wear the glasses now. So people think I'm trying to be cool wearing shades. No, it's a.
It does make you look cool though.
Yeah, it makes you look cool. Yeah. You know, it's a byproduct of. Thank you, Frank. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem, man. That's kind of the thing I'm doing on any podcast that I go on in the next week, because I know like a lot of people are like, it's hard to book on the last minute.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my little addition to any podcast.
Sweet. Love them.
Cool. I'm going to send you Randy's too, so you could send it to Randy.
Awesome. Thank you, Frank, very much.
Yeah, so, gentlemen,
seems like an honor.
But I have to go to the work in the morning, so I'm going to cut out.
Chris, you're always welcome to pop in and go out as you please. So we understand.
Awesome. So yeah,
but before you leave, one more time, let folks know how they can find you and where they can get a hold of the Great Cyclopean again.
Sure. The Great Cyclopean is available for 14 more days on Kickstarter, and you can find us at HeroShack.com.
We also do a stream Wednesday night called the Hero Shack Chronicles at 8:30.
That's true. Yeah, we've been doing that for a few years just to kind of document what we do. Nothing like you guys. We get about 5 people, and actually, it's a lot like you guys. We just kind of grind the conversation about comics, and
yeah.
So that's how you can find us. If you have any questions, comments, or whatever, feel free to reach out. We're on Twitter under Hero Shack and Facebook as well, so we're pretty much easy to find.
Mm-hmm. And Princess Diana for me.
Yeah, she on Google or on Twitter. Sorry.
Yeah, me and her are friends. I'll see you guys next Saturday.
Excellent.
I know. I can't wait.
All right.
I can't wait.
Great.
Okay.
Great.
So we'll see you. Thank you.
All right.
All right, Chris. Great meeting you. Great meeting you. Best of luck on that book.
Too.
You take care.
Chris.
I appreciate it.
Good night.
No problem. Have a good night.
Yeah.
JD, you've been so quiet. We need to talk. You got a campaign running?
When don't I have a campaign?
When don't you have a campaign? That is.
That is the real question. I put in a link, or do you want me to share it out with you?
You share it out.
Yeah, share it out.
Yeah, well, you can control the page. There was a 2-week lull there where JD didn't have a campaign run. I thought he was going to announce his retirement.
It's going crazy. Yeah,
I know. We were fulfilling the other one. So.
Yeah. Likely story. Now you were taking too long. I was like, wait a minute, there's no JD. I'm like, it feels like one of those Force things. Like, there's no Calderon/Lage campaign running. Yeah, what's
you can actually pay your electric bill that month.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So now we have the latest one is up. It's the Oswald Chronicles. We were just passing through issues 1 through 4. We started.
Just gotta show that off. That is awesome. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh
yeah. Yeah. We launched last night, and we actually were on with Nita and Meredith.
Okay.
And I launched with them yesterday at noon.
Sweet.
Yeah, we blew right past our goal, which was really cool.
That's awesome.
And yeah, I mean, yeah, it's one of it. I'm excited about this one because there's a number of things going on. So we have the first 4 issues of this story that's going on, right? But we also have, let me scroll down to it.
And while you're doing that, for our radio audience, you need to tell them what the Oswald Chronicles are all about.
Okay, so yeah, well, yeah, you know I don't like giving away much information.
I know, but we have a radio audience that's not visual, so
I know,
they need to know what your book's about.
All right, well, so the Oswald Chronicles is about a mouse named Oswald. He lives in New York City, and he's the only mouse who's sentient, right? So he lives amongst the humans. He also lives amongst fairies and elves and trolls, and he is a creature that is unique in the world. And he is trapped between these 2 worlds. And this is a very early portion of his life where he is discovering that he is a conduit of magic. So he is starting to learn magic. And in this particular story, he is first introduced into that world by these characters, well, by this race called the Calcians. And the Calcians, this is their story where they're running from another race called the Grogs. And you see this panel here. This is an evil sorcerer who's doing blood magic, and he's going to fight the champion of the Calcians, and they fight. So that goes on, but the Calcians end up teaching Oswald how to do magic because they're a race of, and that's all they do. They do magic. Their science is magic. So, and Oswald straddles the 2 worlds. He straddles the world of normal mankind and the Fey world of magic. And this is him, just at the end of the story trying, learning magic. And the one thing I wanted to show off was this thing. It's a pin. It's an enamel pin, a hard enamel pin that we have made up, and it's available in the campaign currently, and it's actually seems to be quite popular. So, and then we also have issue 7 of 8 of We Were Just Passing Through. These are the alternative covers. I just added them on. There's a 1 level for them, but they're also as add-ons. So if people just want them, they can get them. So this is issue 7, and this is some of the interiors, and this is the other cover. And these covers were done by Donnie Harijawa. I'm pretty sure I'm still screwing up his name. And Carlos Moreno, who's the colorist, who did a fantastic job. Both gentlemen did fantastic work on this. So yeah. So I'm gonna stop sharing that for a moment. And I was just wondering if I could just show you one other thing. If you could just pull me up on the screen.
Sure, you're not up? Hold on. Oh,
yeah.
You want
to.
Yep.
There you go. So for the first 41 backers, physical backers, we're giving away a few things. So we got like this sticker, right? And then we also have this, which is a coaster. Okay. So I when I first heard about it, I was like, a coaster? Who wants a coaster? And then I did this, and I was like, okay, it's actually kind of nice. And then we also have this. This is an acrylic pin that I had made. So the first 41, so the first 41 backers will get that. Cool. Then I just want to show off this thing. This is the
that's it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the hard enamel pin.
Very cool.
Now, how does one get one of those?
It's actually it's an add-on, but they're also levels with the pin included. So yeah. So you
I don't
you
believe
get
you,
all that.
Calderon. I don't believe you. I'm looking. I don't see it. I don't see it anywhere.
It's there. It's there.
I don't want to look. I want you to tell me. I don't.
It's there. Trust me, it's there.
Varian just wants to know when the door hangers are coming.
That's the next one. That's the next. That comes after the coasters.
I am on this show to lead, not to read.
Yeah. How many backers was that again, JD?
I think I'm up to 30.
For the coasters and stuff. How many?
41. So it's for the first 41 physical backers will get that stuff.
I think I missed out then.
No, you didn't.
No, you didn't. No, there's still at least 20 slots open.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, it's crazy because there's only day 2 and we blew past the goal, and I was going to announce a stretch goal of 1,500 and we blew past that, and I was like, all right, I'm moving a little too slow for this. So I'm going to be announcing a bunch of stretch goals tonight. and there'll be like a bunch of trading cards. So I'm gonna do a set of 9 cards, and every goal we pass, I'll put up another card, and there's gonna be 9 cards. And then when you flip it over on the back, it'll be one complete image. So if you put it in, if you have one of those sleeves with the 9 slots, it'll go like that.
Those card pages, yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So.
And 9 pocket card pages.
Mm-hmm.
Turn into one great big illustration. That's sweet.
Yeah, so there'll be like, just regular illustrations on the front of each card, and then on the back it'll be a portion. So
awesome.
So we're working on that. Yeah.
Well, thanks for showing us that. That's awesome.
I got to tell you, I got to tell you, JD, I had a hard time finding the campaign because it doesn't say Chronicles of Oswald on the title.
Yeah.
Oh, what's it say?
We were just passing through.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. That's the name of the story, because each arc has its own title.
Yeah. So
this is a forest arc.
So I messaged JD earlier. I'm like, is this in the Chronicle? Is this I know it is like a side story, but it's
right.
I was like, is this still, or is this going to be its own thing? I was a little confused, but he educated me.
And how many episodes is this going to run? We were just passing through.
This is 4 issues. Okay. So this is in its entirety. If you order the four issues, that's it. It's all there and done.
It's all there. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Did we talk to Ezekiel? I'm sorry, I had to step away. Like, I've been under the weather, guys.
Yeah.
I've been under the weather, and it's been horrible. I do have something here though and this is from Earl. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, but I mean it's EARUL, so I'm guessing that's Earl. Earl says that his uncle runs a canvas factory. Of which he has, he can print images on shoes. He prints
sweet.
They seem that he basically says they are knockoff Converse shoes, but he can print images on the shoes. He's been doing that lately, and this is where it gets funny. I've been doing that lately until very recently, when, to my surprise, I was born in America. The U.S. government lawyers have actually reached across the border to hit me with a cease and desist order.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Citing
that means you were using copywritten images or IPs you were not supposed to be using.
That's right. So, knowing that, guys, I'm thinking about turning my business legitimately toward indie creators and seeing if they would like to have their artwork put on canvas material, such as shoes and other things. The issue is these shoes would cost about $12 a pair for me to the consumer. You can then tell them whatever price you want, not including shipping. Would that be something people will be interested in? Let me know, Earl. Anything interesting in shoes, maybe there art on it? I gotta admit, I've got some Justice League Converse. I wear them very rarely, but I've got some, and I paid good money for it. But you guys also know I'm a bit of you think Lola's a shoe collector. I almost said a shoe whore, but that you're taking the wrong way. I got a lot of gym shoes.
You're a sneaker freaker.
Yeah.
Aficionado.
Yeah, shoe aficionado. I've paid.
Stone says hello, Luke.
Hey,
Luke.
What's up, Luke?
Those superheroes, Marvel bathing apes, I paid ridiculous amounts of money for, and I only wear them. I only wear each pair maybe once, twice a year. I used to wear them a lot more when the Marvel movies were hitting in the early stages. Now now they're kind of retired to just sitting in my bedroom looking cool. But yeah, I mean, what do you guys think? Would you want to see that? Eric already weighed in and said yes, absolutely. Eric, $12 a pair. How many you order?
Well, see, here's the thing. In the business I'm running, I'm in right now with the wrestling thing. There's a lot of gimmick stuff out there. The problem is the quantity. So if I forget this gentleman's name, but
Earl,
if you can get us a minimum quantity of like 10 or 12, don't make it 100 at $12. Make it like 10 or 12 at that price. You're going to open up to a large amount of people who are going to be interested in doing this. That's a great introductory number, so that you can test market this. People in indie comics, we don't have big, huge fortunes. Well, a couple of us do, but not most of us. And we need to we need to be able to test market this stuff for a few $100 investment, see if we get a return, then we can keep on moving. For me, as a wrestling artist, I just got talking to a vendor that I met down there in Jacksonville who does custom turnbuckles. So I'm going to experiment with putting my wrestling art on custom turnbuckles. 12, minimum buy-in is 12. I'll give it a shot, see if it works.
Yeah, I mean, I know for myself, I mean, I would definitely be interested in it. What I would like to see from him is like a template of the shoe, so that if he were to give you a template so that you could lay out your artwork on it, that would be really nice. So then you can see how, it'll lay on the shoe, and then you can, see how the wraparound will work. I think that would be awesome, though. I had a friend back in the 80s, he would paint on shoes. He was an artist, he was a cartoonist, and he was a graph artist, right? So he was a graffiti guy. So, but he would take, grab a regular pair of Pumas or Adidas or whatever, and he would paint on them. And he would, just start doing all his letters and stuff. He was selling those things for $200 or $300 a pair.
Yeah.
And that was back then.
Yeah.
And that was because it was all custom art, and he would do both shoes, so there's definitely a market for that sort of thing.
Yeah, Earl, we need to know more about it, but take it from me. Don't brush off that cease and desist. What you're doing is smart. Stop.
Yeah.
Don't play with the mouse. Don't play with the Warner Brothers. You will have your butt slammed.
I want to play a scene. Eric's gonna get a kick out of this. When we talked about the cartoons on the shoes, Eric will know exactly where this clip comes from. Probably gonna get demonetized for it, but here we go.
Can't hear it.
Can't hear it? Well, this gentleman here is in art school, and he's going home for Thanksgiving.
Why do you love them so much more than me?
You know you gotta do, Jerome. You gotta figure out who's the top in your business. It's not too small. That's what it is. It's all about business, right?
Now,
Need to turn that up a little.
connection already.
Impossible. It's YouTube.
My girlfriend's dad's kind of a famous artist, so.
Your what?
Hugh, could you help me get the rest of the pies out of the oven?
Uh-huh.
Oh, it gets better. It gets better. We'll just hear the part with the grandmother here.
My friend's granddaughter paints little pictures on the shoes. What do you call them? Anyhow, she paints pictures of little animals and whatnot. And I believe the other children pay her for it. Stickers. Isn't that what they call them? Anyhow, that's something I thought you could do, Jeremy.
Poor kid. That poor kid. And I think we've all been there. We've all been there.
I love that movie.
Yeah. I told Eric to watch it. He found it and he watched it and he says, where's the movie in my entire life? If you ever been, you're an artist, any type of creative, especially an artist, man, it's just, you go through that.
You went to art school. You haven't seen Art School Confidential. You're missing out. This is the therapy that you needed after you graduated.
It's great. As Jimmy said,
Mike, Jimmy's up early this morning.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's so relatable.
Oh, God, so relatable. Yeah. Even for him, and he's halfway across the world.
It's I often drop that line, and people don't get it. They're like, you could draw little animals on the sneakers. People are like, well, now you guys all know. So maybe we'll clip that and add it to the. You could draw little animals on the sneakers.
Yeah,
that's something I thought you could do.
We could throw that in with the question about the Flintstones.
Yeah. I do like. I mess with Sim a lot about it. I tell Sim, I said he posted some of his art. I said, Sim, you're really doing really good as an artist. I'm Simon Poltier, and I said, one day if you work really hard, you can be able to draw comics for a living. And he sent me back a string of expletives. I love it.
That's what you would say, a well-deserved string of excellent.
Oh yeah, exactly. I deserved it.
I still got to get custom heels for Indie Vault and Indie Crown.
That's right. Those are almost custom. Those are close. Also, one of the other things that I want to ask you guys about, Indie Vault, we kind of take our we have IndieVolt.com, which we take we review stuff, we talk about things. One thing to talk about recently was we have an article on there from where I'm drawing blanks on names right now, but art was removed from Facebook. A post about fake news, a cartoon about fake news was removed because the Facebook algorithm decided that it was fake news. So they removed a comic strip about fake news because the algorithm determined it was fake news, and it was great. It was crazy, but we're all under algorithm watch, and as an artist, it's very hard to push your artwork out there because the algorithm. I mean, I've had artwork blocked and couldn't tell you why. And sorry, Frank just sent me the Lola piece. Here it is.
I sent it to Lola too.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
there she is.
That is amazing.
It looks awesome.
The Bob's Burgers characters rarely smile. If you ever watch the show, they don't smile much. So I usually draw the characters, just not smiling just because of that. So it's true to the show.
Yeah.
But
that's awesome.
That is.
Lola, how many crowns do you own?
Huh?
How many crowns do you own?
1, 2, 3, 4. 4 right now, but I plan on getting 3 more.
Nice.
See, I can't remember.
That way she'll have one for every day of the week.
If you can get to 10, that'll be a crowning achievement.
Oh.
I can get to 10 really quick. I know where it comes from now. I found a place to get them. And they're quality crowns.
Yeah, that was. I know the first crown you had was you just bought that from like a store as a joke, right?
Yeah, and then here's my big heavy one.
Nice, love it.
That's the one in the picture I sent you, Frank.
Oh, right, love it. Nice.
Do you guys want to know where the whole Indie Princess thing came from? It's a real quick, dark story. It's kind of cute though. We had a lady living with us, and she acutely went to the dentist. This lady she would never move. She would just sit on the sofa to the point where that's why we got in the sofa, because she broke the sofa. And she would sit there all day, and she would ask us, like, if she heard you coming, she'd ask you for things, like whatever it was, she'd ask you to get it. Well, one day she referred to Lola as the princess. The princess just gets this and gets that. And so in her petty nature, Lola went and bought a dollar store crown and started wearing it around the house.
That's funny.
And it became a part of what she did. All that. So that's where the Indie Princess thing came from. But it's I like that. She got the purple hair in there too. Frank, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, a little bit.
We gotta get those framed.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Bob says he loves it.
Are you guys worried that your art's gonna get pulled for being, wrong link or just like not acceptable?
What do you mean by pulled?
Like this pulled by Facebook, removed,
taken down. If it was like nudity or something, like I don't know what their rules are. I know a lot of people post nude stuff. Like Tim Vigil pushes it pretty hard with his stuff. I guess every once in a while it gets pulled down. I mean, I don't really have to post nudity on Facebook. I don't want to that's the only thing they seem to, reject, right? But I thought like with Instagram, if it's art, you could post nudity, right?
I've posted.
No, it has to be a private profile now.
Yeah, I've posted stuff about C19 that's gotten pulled, cartoon stuff.
Well,
in the past. As fake news.
The thing about this particular article was it was C19 based. It was here's an article on IndieVolt.com. Killing the joke. Facebook labels fake news satire as fake news. Good old Facebook and its censorship algorithms. By now, you may even know an artist who has had an art posting removed or cited for sensitive material. For the first time ever, Professor George Malia found himself in the crosshairs with his latest installment of his Zeep strip from the Times of Malta, taking aim at the never-ending spread of false news online. Here's a strip. It says here that COVID-19 is fake. It's all a scam by the authorities to control all of us. The virus, the pandemic, the vaccines, all fake. I bet even this comic strip is fake. And yet, you're really in it, as are we all. That's a strip. And Facebook said, no, this post goes against our community standards on misinformation that could cause physical harm. No one else can see your post. We encourage free expression, but don't allow false information about C-19 that contribute to physical harm. So they removed it. And George has decided that he's thinking that he may no longer post the cartoon strip on Facebook. He's calling the social media giants fake news algorithm ridiculously hopeless. All the actual fake news gets through. But yeah, CBLDF is actually stepping in on this, and they're getting involved because come on, it's satire. I mean, you know, this is what comic strips do. It's satire. It's supposed to be, you know, edgy, and it's supposed to disturb you and make you talk and make you think. Correct? I mean, that's where I'm at with it. But plus, there's far more things up there they could target than just that. I've seen a couple of things today that probably should have been taken down, but you know. But you guys,
man, you cannot make that stuff up.
If you want, you know, go over to indievote.com. It's called Killing the Joke. You can comment on that, you know, and join the conversation over there or start it. I'm not sure if anybody's commented on that yet, but yeah. Oh no, it's got 3 comments. I think it looks like it says 3 comments. I could be wrong. Huh? I probably am. I usually am wrong.
So this one of them's not. You won.
Yeah, you know how much spam is up there, like. You know, hey,
constantly have to watch it. Yeah, 3
Viagra supplements.
Yeah,
you know, it's like, you know, if you're trying to reach artists, you should just have free porn or something like that, or free what are those figures? The figures that everyone was buying. They're either no, they're either is it Dogecoin? Is that the name of the figures? They're gray. Sometimes they're gray, or sometimes they're you know, the little figures that they're for art. Yeah, they should have told those people, like, because I had a friend buy some. She found them on a Wish for $5, and the figures she got were this small and flimsy, and they fell apart. And she was like, "I wasted $5 and waited 2 months." It's great. It's great.
That could be Wish's slogan.
Yeah. Waste $5, waste 2 months.
Hey, everything I've gotten on Wish was good.
Yeah. What are you saying for it? I'm sorry.
Oh, Varian, I wanted to talk to you. I mean, I know you guys in comics, there's been some distribution shakeups this year with DC leaving Diamond and Penguin Random House and Randy. We've seen the distribution wars of the 90s go down.
Oh, yeah.
What's up with the Liberty distribution? I'm curious about that.
Yeah, Liberty Entertainment Distribution Group is a company I started almost 6 years ago now. And it was... Because I'm a futurist and a genius, I wanted to try something different, and what we did was we took the whole distribution model apart, threw away what wasn't working. Obviously, what does work is getting indie comics in the stores. That's all we kept. Everything else was, you know, like, you know, reformatted. So what we did with Liberty is we started talking to stores. I want to know what stores needed, and I talked to a lot of store owners, and I kept hearing, and this is from me doing my own research, I don't want to deal with all these eccentric creators. I don't. I can't do it. I can't deal with them. Some of them call my store twice a day. Some of them want to stop by and do impromptu meet and greets. I can't handle it. If I just had one person. That's right. That's right, Mike. I love you, Mike. If they just had one person to go to, or one company, which is how Diamond worked too, they would love to buy those books. They got no problem buying indie titles. So what we started talking about was trying to make sure that people had enough indie titles so that store owners could buy more than one. They want hot titles. They want titles that are going to be
so that every retailer wants is titles in their store that they know they're going to sell.
Yeah.
Right,
So
right.
what we did was we pushed. We did that. We talked to. We would start talking to creators and publishers, and we said, look, they want these books. They're willing to deal with us because we're putting together a professional, quality product and distribution model that they're going to accept and do and be part of this. A lot of them were. Some of them were. Some people were like, no, I've got deals with Diamond. This is 6 years ago. I'm with Diamond. Or I'm trying to get in Diamond. I don't want to mess that up. And then over the past, a little bit before the pandemic, and even especially during the pandemic, we got flooded we're still recovering from the flood of people, hitting us up, calling, hey, can I get in? How do I get in the catalog? How do I get on the site? Right now we're close to 79 stores nationwide.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Which, I know is like, it's funny because the other day it was brought to my attention that like I always say, man, look, we had currently, by the way, 81,410 people listening on Indie Vote Radio. But I was that number was like, wow, that's many people listening to us on our radio app and through Alexa and through all these other things. That's great. And then it was brought to my attention that there's a guy that has a radio show on AM FM radio, and he reaches half of Florida, and he's got 8 million ears. I mean, no, 2 million ears. Then the Breakfast Club radio show in the morning, they've got 8 million listeners, and I started thinking like, wow, what a drop in the bucket that is. But
you're right.
But they go back to what I was saying. 79 stores doesn't seem like a lot. So you realize it's like not that many stores left in the U.S. To sell comics, but it is. It's a big number. It's a big number, and there's a few other things that we're doing beyond the traditional retail. It's safe to say that there are other avenues for these comics besides the comic shop.
Yeah, right.
Liberty is more than happy to work with those other places,
other retail establishments, right? Yeah. So is everyone shipping to you and then you ship out, or does
everyone ships to Liberty Warehouse? Yep, we get the books from the vendors. Now what happens with Liberty is that you set up your I don't get to talk about Liberty or IndieVote that much. This is kind of weird. Or IndieVote, but so you send in the books, you get an account. Cool thing about Liberty is this. You make your own prices. We don't make the prices for you. So your cover price is fine, and what you're gonna say, what you want those books to go to retailers for, you said. So many other companies, they come in and say, well, we're gonna take, you should price your book at this much, and we're gonna take this amount. The other thing people don't like about Liberty, and our competition doesn't like especially, is that we don't charge any fees to the creators, publishers, none of those fees. So we don't take anything from the creators. We don't do that because I'm a creator and I know how that shit feels. Right,
but Liberty has to make some money. You make a percentage of the.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, we're not going to
make a percentage of the sale.
Yeah, well, we don't get the book. Yeah, we don't get percentage of the book. We don't. That's not the way we structured the whole model. We structured ours for our what we consider the regular store to the regular Liberty to retail or comic shop. We that structure completely differently. So there's no money for Liberty to make from the publishers and the creators. It's just not right. I'm a creator, I'm a publisher, and I don't need nobody dipping in my pocket. I just don't want it. That's from hanging out with Eric, though. Eric makes me listen to financial stuff on the road, and when you get out the car, you may have gotten in the car thinking, hey, I like you might get in Eric's car thinking one way, you'll get out the car after an 8-hour trip making completely different other way. Yeah, so you look at Lola, she's like, I think that I'm just converted into something. But
love you, Eric.
Yeah.
Taxation is theft.
Yeah, exactly. You get out the car. Where is this? Why do I have? Don't tread on me. When am I this hat? But no. So yeah, we don't make any money from on that. We one of the ways that Liberty makes money. One of the ways is that our shipping. We have a really cool logistics department that we have been able to eke out a bit of money. See, I guess what Lola hates me to say, she hates when I say this, but I don't mind if I'm not making any money. I just don't want to lose any.
I think it's fair for you to, as a distributor, to make 10 to 15% off the cost of the book. I mean, that's just what all distributors make. Penguin, Random House, Diamond, Ingram. I mean, you're the middleman. It's fair for you to make that money. Don't think like you're screwing us over. You're doing the publishers a favor by getting the book into retailers' hands.
I believe Diamond is pulling 50 to 60%.
No, because
they're getting 20% in the middle.
Oh yeah,
20%
out of the middle.
Sometimes
yeah.
even
Okay.
less if,
You're right.
if stores get more. So
Yeah.
that's, I mean, even if you made 20%, like, so what? Like
I just didn't feel comfortable doing it. I was like, I was okay making a little of a little rather than, I just didn't feel right taking. Now, we make money on shipping. We make a little money on the shipping. Now the Liberty stuff, once again, I wasn't prepared for this, but the Liberty stuff, hold on, I'll grab a box. 1 second. Give me a minute. Randy, take over.
Okay, well, the cool thing about this, from the retailer perspective, is that they can order a book on Monday and they've got it in their hands by Friday. That's what I really like about Liberty, so that you don't have a retailer. And I like I said at the start of the program, I retailed for a good decade. You don't want to have to a retailer sitting there. One of the biggest blocks that retailers have against ordering independent materials, they don't know when it's going to come out. That's what they keep saying. If I order a book now at a dime and previews that says it's coming out in 3 months, sometimes I don't see it for 4 months or 5 months or whatever. No, anything you order from Liberty is in-house, already there. If it's not on the site, he doesn't have it in the warehouse.
Right. You don't do pre-orders, in other words.
No, you do direct orders.
Mm-hmm.
They want 3 of a product. They order 3 of a product on Monday. On Tuesday, Variant's got it in a box and it's heading their way.
Right. Yeah, I'm interested in. I signed up today when Pops told me about it. I'm interested in putting some of Asylum Press's titles in there. We got a bunch of back stock that I'm just sitting on, and I would love to, give it to them. Is it it's a consignment deal? Like, what's the deal with the stores? Like, I send it to you, and then you have it in stock, then you ship it out. When they sell it, you guys get paid?
Yep.
And if they don't sell it, they'll return it.
Yep.
Right.
There we go. Here's
I want to head out, guys.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Sorry.
Zeke,
Got to get to work tomorrow.
All right, Zeke. Sorry, but need to stay in touch. Need to keep it and let the folks know before you leave how that they can get a hold of you and again push your campaign.
Sure. If you're interested, contact me on Twitter at Zine Comics. Also, my campaign is on Indiegogo, Forerunners, and we're working on our Facebook page as we speak.
Nice.
Great.
Sounds good.
Thank you
All
very
right,
much.
Ezekiel, you need to stay in touch and keep us up with the progress on your campaign, all right?
Sure thing. Thank you.
All right. Thanks a lot for coming on.
Thank you.
Take care. So we're rounding the 2-hour mark. That's why he needed to go and get to
Glad to have him on.
It's so easy to lose time when we're talking about this stuff because it's really exciting.
So here's the standard box, by the way. Standard box. All the books come bagged and boarded, by the way, wrapped in. This is just a box, so there's no books in here. They come bagged and boarded, and the standard box. But this box is a very high-rated box. We don't have these. When I had these boxes made, I was very curious about the crush weight, and I was told the box would stand 55 pounds of crush weight. I'm like, I don't know about that, guys. And so when I got them, I did a little crush test myself. I've rated these boxes from they would stand up to about 180 pounds actually before. There's but the books come bagged and boarded and bubble wrapped. There's which are we call it a ship to shelf. So a retailer can when they get a box, and it's just a standard box, you got bigger ones. But when they get this box, they can open it. There's a little protective sleeve here. They pull their invoice out.
Yeah.
The invoice is there. It's not just tossed in the box like some other company. They have to dig it out.
Like every other company.
They can take it right out. They can take the books right out of the box and put them on their shelf. Just to show, I actually sent a book that Pops Van Zant won from the iNDIE Vault, and I shipped it in with one of our custom boards. All our books come with these custom boards. There's Bell on the back. That bell is drawn by Mr. Eric Hudson, Dreaded Dinosaurs himself, as a matter of fact. Did that bell. So I told Pops, hang that board up.
So how many books are you shipping a week? Like, what are the orders like?
It depends. There's been some weeks where it's been like, like it's been low, especially like during the holiday season. but
Yeah,
it's
right,
been
right.
picking up. I expect things to get very busy here in late August. So if you want to get involved, if you want your books, I would urge everyone to come get signed up. The other thing about your account, so say you were signed up today as a vendor, what happens is you get an account. Whenever you make money, you in your account it shows how much you got, how much you have coming to you. If when you want to get paid, because some people don't want to get paid right away, they want to let that build, you can select pay me. And if you got your PayPal account attached, the money will be over your PayPal account, I think within 24 hours. If you want to check, minus the PayPal fees, mind you. And if you want a check sent out, we'll issue you an check. That could take up to 48 hours to issue, plus the mailing time to get it to you. And there is a fee for those checks. I think it's just the cost of the
Right.
just the cost of the
So what
cashier's
is
check.
like I've got a bunch of backstock from Asylum Press titles.
Mhm.
Do you like place an order that's like a consignment thing? Like you'll say, give me 20 of those, 20 of those, 20 of those, and they sit in your warehouse. So then people will order them? Or do
Yeah,
you want me to upload the cover and the interiors to your website and do like a pre-order? I guess it's not really a pre-order thing.
Yeah. No, you would the way it would work is you would send me, you'd send us the books, however many you're comfortable sending. And then that'll be available from your stock of books. So if you sent me 80 issues of this particular title A, then that's what that's. So we don't ship a book until we have it on hand.
Yeah,
that
right,
way,
right.
that way we keep our 100% fill rate guarantee.
And how do the retailers see what the book looks like inside?
In the on their they
catalog.
log in on the internet. We're also releasing a physical catalog for them too.
Oh,
but
cool.
they log in on the internet, and there are pictures that you can upload, or we can upload them for you, of the magazine, of the cover, a couple pages inside, not the whole thing, obviously, a couple pages, and then a little write up of the story so they know what they're getting. And yeah, that's how that works. It's really a cool feature. I've talked to retailers who've used it. They enjoy it. They said it was very simple.
Yeah,
they
I've got some
kinda,
books I could send you and upload. What about signed books? Like signed books with certificates of authenticity? Do those sell well?
we don't have any. We don't have any.
We've got some of that stuff. Some of that stuff I solicited through Diamond. We sold about 1,000 of them, so that was a pretty good order of Warlash book. And I've got some trade paperbacks. And then it sounds like what you do a lot of the Kickstarter stuff that's not available through Diamond. Is that what your catalog is mostly?
Well, it depends. There's a lot of independent stuff. Yeah, there is some stuff that people, again, we have to have it in stock. So I tell people all the time, hey, where are you going to do with that once your Kickstarter's over? Where are you going to do with that once your Indiegogo campaign is over? You're gonna put it you want it in stores? We can help with that. And it's been working out. I'm happy that we've been able to do it. I know that better men than me have tried and failed before. And,
well, that's true. Like a few years ago, there was Haven Distribution. Remember that? Lance, I think Stahlberg was his name. He tried to get it going, and I supported him. I gave him a ton of books. It just couldn't work. Now with Lunar and the other one, I forget what they're called, they're trying to do it. They have DC, which is a big account, so that's probably easier. When you're dealing with a bunch of smaller accounts, like Capital City tried to do, it was nearly impossible.
Yeah, Randy gave me a lot of advice beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I had already started it, but Randy was like, "What are you doing? Are you are you crazy?
What are you, nuts?"
Yeah, exactly. And he's like, "Look, you're gonna." And then he found out what else I was doing on the side, and he's like, that might actually. Okay, we'll do this.
You have a radio network. You're playing music. We need a podcast.
Yeah, and it was really I like listening. But one of the models that we have for Liberty is listen, adapt, repeat. Because this business, especially when it comes to indie comics, is always changing. Very fluid.
Yep.
And if you get stuck in this one track way of thinking, you will hit a wall. And you can't shake it off sometimes. So we got books from Dreamweaver, which is JD. We got books from Ego Works, which is Daphne Lage. Randy's giving me some Arrow titles. They're putting in some classic Arrow titles. The new ones will be coming soon.
Yep.
Who else we got? We got Starcross now. We got Unstoppable Comics. Mirror Comics. There's so many people have joined up. LEDG.us is the website.
Shocker Comics.
Hmm?
You forgot Shocker Comics.
Shocker Comics. I forgot a lot of companies. A couple other big announcements coming very soon too.
Cool.
So yeah, I mean, be happy to have you. Be happy to have you.
Yeah, I got a bunch of stuff. So I signed up for the thing today when Pops told me about it. So
Well, see, you don't have to load him up with 70 copies, 100 copies, or whatever. 20, 25 copies, enough for him to have it on hand to show retailers. Because if you move through that stock, then you'll know to send him some more.
Yeah.
And the other cool thing is on the vendor dashboard, you get this thing where you see where your book, what state your books are moving to. Because the retailers are telling me, do not let these people know what stores, because I don't want them calling us. And
right.
But you get to see what state, so you can kind of say, my books are moving really well in Idaho. Are there any Comic-Cons in Idaho? I need to go and meet my fans. Or my books are moving really well in Texas. I don't need to go there because people know me. They already getting my books. So it depends on however you, from a business standpoint.
We'll talk on Facebook, and I'll send you a box of samples so you can check it out, and then you can see like what we're doing.
Absolutely.
But I gotta cruise, you guys. I've been on here for a while. I got some deadlines I gotta hit. But thanks for having
Frank,
me.
we need to move along as well. But Frank, before you go, make sure you tell everybody how they can find you and what to look for your campaign.
I will. So the campaign is called Warlash Cold Metal Mayhem. It's on Kickstarter now. It's on till June 19th. And if you like Judge Dredd and RoboCop and hard-hitting sci-fi action, you'll definitely like this book. I'm on the web and social, Frank Forte Comics. Asylum Press is the company. Asylum Press is on the web. Instagram, Asylum Press. Twitter, Asylum Press. We're also in the Diamond Previews catalog with new books, so you can check us out there. And, check us out. We'd love to have you.
Great.
Nice.
Thank you, sir, for coming on. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks,
Thank you for the
guys.
drawings. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
They were
Glad you like it.
awesome.
And Lola, I'll see you
thank you very much.
See you Saturday.
Yep, thanks, guys. Have
Thanks
a good
again,
one.
Frank,
Nice
for
meeting
being on.
everybody. JD, Dreaded Dinosaur. Thanks, man.
Nice meeting you, Frank.
We are.
Jimmy.
Varian, how would you fare doing A4 books rather than U.S. Comics? As you commenting for those too? I mean, we could. We don't have a format, embargo. So we could we could handle lots of different formats. We just tell the comic store, hey, this book you're gonna get isn't,
Mike Jimmy says, stay awesome, Frank. So I'm helping Frank book shows. If anyone wants to put him up out this week, he's got a campaign rolling for Warlash, right?
Warlash. He sent me some images for it too. I was gonna show him, but
LASH.
I apologize. I got sick. I had to go step off camera because you guys didn't want to hear me doing like Lola did.
There's some awesome portraits he did though.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, those are really nice.
I guess we need to start wrapping up here. Should we start with JD? You can tell us where we can find him.
Yeah. All right. So you can find me on Facebook on the JD Calderon, Twitter, same thing, DeviantArt, and Instagram, all under JD Calderon. You can also find me under theoswaldchronicles.com, talltalesonline.com, and go check out my latest Kickstarter. And you can find the links on Facebook or Twitter or theoswaldchronicles.com.
Very good, very good. Mr. Dreaded Dinosaur.
Yeah, you can find me at Dreaded Dinosaur on all the social medias. You can also go to my website, erichodson.com. That's ERIKHODSON. Buy some prints off there, help me pay the rent. And if you want to get a copy of Roddy Piper Killed the Avenger, there's like 3 or 4 left on the shelf at Pro Wrestling Tees. Head over there, look up the book, you can get it there. Oh, and if you're listening in Ohio, this weekend, I'll be in Sharonville for Anime Ohio. Looking forward to that one-day show, one of our personal favorites. And I'll be there with a ton of new anime art that I'm staying up all night finishing.
That means you can mess with Eric all night. Just send him messages.
Mike Jimmy says, just received Tall Tales yesterday, JD. Awesome stuff.
Whoa.
Where's ours?
It's coming. We just mailed it out. It just went out yesterday. Yeah, we were surprised too. But he's in Europe. and they're efficient.
Who knew European mail doesn't have to stop at Pittsburgh?
Exactly. But it shipped out. I sent you a picture.
Yeah. I was I see it. It's currently in Astoria. Yeah.
Oh
yeah. You're like,
is that Ohio?
No, New York.
New York. Okay.
Yeah, literally, it's probably down the block from me.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Because I was like Astoria.
Astoria is literally right here. It's right here. Yeah, it hasn't even left yet.
Hey, when are you gonna move these books? I ain't gonna move them. You move them. Yeah.
Miss Lola, where can you be found, ma'am?
Oh, I stand corrected. Mike Jimmy says it usually does stop in Pittsburgh. That's the worst part. That's why they call it the pits.
The best way to track me down is go to Linktree indie_princess, and you can find all my links there, including a link to my book Lore, which is still in demand on Indiegogo. So guys, if you haven't picked up your copy yet, go pick it up.
Do it today.
Do it now.
Do it now. Lure, Lure. Folks, for our radio audience, go over there and take a look. In demand. You want me to go? You're muted. You're both muted.
Yeah.
Stay muted. Hey, folks, I'm Randy Zimmerman. You can find me over on Facebook under Randy Zimmerman. You can find me over on Twitter, though I'm not over there very often, under Randy Zim. You can find Arrow Comics 4.0 on Linktree, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Please go over there to the Facebook and the YouTube and like and subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. We will have some content up there eventually. I have a lot of announcements to do. I've just been busy trying to get stuff done so that I can clear the path and get some other content up there, make some announcements. So other than that, we are going to be back Wednesday, tomorrow night, for Geekgasm that the Indie Princess will be hosting. Then Thursday morning, hopefully Varian and myself, if Varian's up and about, to do that for the Breakfast Buzz at 9 a.m. All of these times are Eastern Standard Time. And then we're back. Backer Shots is a separate program.
Yeah.
That'll be on Saturday, right?
Yep,
Friday?
on my YouTube. Saturday nights at 9 p.m., but it's on my YouTube.
Indie Princess YouTube. What about, we're probably not doing the Pitches Be Crazy yet?
Pitches Be Crazy will return on the 25th.
We're currently retooling that program,
June,
so but it will be back shortly. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
And it's some great viewing on that. And then Sunday morning, I host a program where we try to talk about the more whimsical and fun side of comics. That's on the Sunday Funnies at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Indie Volt Network, and the usual Facebook places and internet radio, who we deeply appreciate. What's our ending numbers, Varian?
92,107.
92,107. Please tell your friends. So we appreciate you all. Mexico still big. Colombia?
Mexico, Australia, and India.
Phenomenal.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Appreciate it. And of course, you can find us back here again, like Randy said. Randy and I will be back at you Thursday morning at 9 a.m. And then I may be doing some stuff tomorrow on my personal YouTube as well. So check that out. Might do some drawing. Really excited. Been doing some drawing and I got my scanner copier working somewhat again. It needed nozzle cleaning, and you had to buy this fluid. And I didn't buy the fluid, but I'm going to buy the fluid just so I have it on hand for next time. Make it extremely easier. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. We do appreciate it. Make sure you go to indievotawards.com. If you have a project, even if it's not your own project, you had a project you want considered for and placed in consideration for the awards.
That's for 2020 and 2021.
Yep, you can definitely do it. There's a fact sheet there. You can check that out, read it. We're really excited. The awards are heating up. I've got my suit. What's wrong, Lola? Oh, 2019.
It's 19 and 20.
19 and 20. Okay, 19 and 20. The 2021 will be this year's book.
Oh, so. Sorry. Yeah, 2019, 2020.
And we are excited about the show. I picked up my suit and my shoes for it already. So
ordered my shirt.
I'm gonna be very shiny. Yeah. Also, got a new hat coming too, guys.
New hat?
I got 2 new hats coming. I ordered one yesterday and it was shipped today.
Will they still have tails?
Yeah. I ordered the skunk hat.
There we go. Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. I ordered the skunk hat. That's gonna be cool.
You can wear that when we have some stinkers on. That'll be great.
Terrible.
Wait a minute. Need to switch my hat.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Until then, guys, try to leave this industry a better place than you found it. And that's it. That's it. Randy, take us out of here.
I'm taking us out. Take care, everybody. Stay healthy. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah. Have a good night,
guys.
There it is. Have a good night.
Yay! Think about what you've accomplished.
Do you draw the Flintstones naked? There's a market for that.
How can you close me up? On what ground? I'm shocked to find that